What's cracking? What's popping? Hey, I'm not gonna lie. Y'all should honestly, no cap, like I don't even know the last time this happened, but this is like the first time in a long time, and this is something I got to do better with. This is the first time in a long time that I've been on time for one of these streams. So this is like a historic moment. Y'all should probably like document this shit. Hopefully, I honestly am like, because I think it's just part of maturation and part of maturing, being on time for shit, because it doesn't really be intentional until it does. Like, y'all feel me? But as far as the content is concerned, I need to do a better job with it. But just document this shit just in case. You know what I'm saying? Because I ain't gonna lie, sometimes it just be too much going on, and I gotta go faster. So I apologize. But what's popping? What's popping? Hey, we got a huge night tonight. Huge night tonight. I'm gonna give people some time to get in here. Shout out to everybody that's already in. Shout out Omar and Bloody. What's popping, gentlemen? How y'all feeling? Hope everybody has had a phenomenal week up to this point. I know that we currently have football going on. So if y'all are choosing to be here with me over watching the games right now, or even if y'all were doing both, shout out to y'all. I greatly, greatly appreciate it. We do have Terrence and Tavian joining a little bit later on. But before we get to that, we have something very special again, something very special going on tonight. But like I said, I'll let people have an opportunity to get in, and then we'll rock out. Shout out everybody in the chat. KP was popping, Scrap was popping. But yeah, man, like I said, I hope everybody has had a great week. I've been phenomenal. I'm not gonna lie. As soon as I left FanFest on Saturday, we went over back to the hotel, recorded a podcast, and actually, speaking of that, if you guys haven't already, stay with us tonight. But I have homework for you guys. Tomorrow morning or tomorrow afternoon, sometime before the game, y'all have to check out the interview slash. I won't even say interview at this point. It's way too formal. Interview for Dunk is way too formal. Like Dunk is just an FPFO family member. So it's just like when we have the opportunity to get some content, we're getting the content with Dunk for sure. But all of that being said, let me stay locked in. I'm chewing Neuro gum right now too. So I'm when I get back on camera, trust me, I'll be locked in. But all of that being said, y'all's homework tonight / tomorrow morning is to go watch the episode that we recorded with Dunk this past weekend. We literally recorded it as soon as we left FanFest, left the stadium, got stuck in a little traffic, whatever the case may be, got back to the hotel and instantly got to work. That was a fucking phenomenal episode, if I do say so myself. It's only an hour and 15 minutes, somewhere in that range. So a lot shorter than our typical episode. So it's more digestible. But there are a couple of great conversations. Some conversations that you guys have heard from us throughout the off season, and some that we haven't. And then it's always great to have a talent like Aaron Duncan on the podcast. So that was a phenomenal opportunity. So shout out to him for hopping on and joining us for this past week's episode. I know a lot of y'all were thrown off by the Monday release date, but we did drop that Monday evening at 8 p.m. And that streamed actually live on X and premiered on YouTube. So all that being said, if you haven't had the opportunity to go look at that and go check that episode out, I would highly encourage you to do it before the preseason week 1 kicks off for the Carolina Panthers tomorrow at 7 p.m. And if you're watching on X and you're unfamiliar with our YouTube channel, you can go to youtube.com and search for Panthers Fans Only, and it'll pop up. You'll see our channel with all of our clips, all of the game day vlogs that we've done, all of the episodes. Everything will be at your disposal. So if you're not familiar with the YouTube channel, go run and do that really quickly. Some other housekeeping items while we're here and while we're still, the doors of the congregation are still open. So we're still letting people. Well, actually, I don't even think I said that properly. The doors of the church are still open. The congregation is the people, right? I'm blazing. I'm tripping already. I'm just like y'all know. I'm tripping already. But um other housekeeping items. If you didn't have the uh if you didn't have the opportunity to purchase a Carolina, appreciate it. Thank you, KP. Thank you, bro. Yeah, I know I'm tweaked. I'm tweaked. If you didn't have an opportunity to purchase your Black Carolina Reaper t-shirt when we dropped them in March, we dropped them back in March 14th. We let it run. I mean, I would say probably about 2 or 3 months, and then we shut it down. We did something very, very special for FanFest this past weekend. So if you weren't able to get your Carolina Reaper t-shirt and you're interested in getting one, they are available right now on 4PanthersFansOnly.com. So if you go to your Safari and type in 4PanthersFansOnly.com, you'll see easy, instant access to purchase one of the shirts. And if you haven't, like I said, if you haven't copped yours yet, or maybe you just want another one, you want a newer one for the season, for us kicking the preseason off, or whatever the case may be, you have the opportunity to do so right now. 4PanthersFansOnly.com. You can DM us on Twitter. You can DM us on Instagram. Whatever the case may be, you have the ability right now to purchase one of those Carolina Reaper t-shirts. And off of that, we have a lot of big things coming with that design too. And I'll leave it there because I think actually I need to confirm with our marketing director. I need to confirm with her, but I'm pretty sure we have something very interesting and very fun coming. Very exciting, something very exciting on the horizon. And I believe that's going to happen tonight, but I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. So when I do what I do here in the next 5 minutes, I'm going to call and get that confirmed. And I think that's what we're going to go with. So all of that being said, make sure, again, if you haven't done so already, we were kind enough here at FPFO to open the shop back up for Carolina Reaper tees. And I know that there were a lot of people upset that they didn't get one initially. There were a lot of people asking us if we were going to restock certain sizes or whatever the case may be. Medium through 4XL, we have everything that you need. So go on the site right now and go purchase those. Lastly, and then I'm going to get to the chat because I see y'all got the chat jumping. Chill. Haley, don't come in here on bullshit, bro. Just sit back and enjoy the show. Lastly, our fantasy league. First and foremost, if you weren't able to get into the fantasy league, I apologize. And honestly, you shouldn't feel bad if you weren't able to get in the fantasy league. It's unfortunate for you because you won't be able to compete with us. But don't feel bad because our producer drug his feet on it too. And I don't believe that he ended up making it in the league either. It was very, very quick. We started promoting it. I want to say we were on stream. I think Ducey is the one that told me that we needed to do something. And then Bloody chimed in. There was a couple of other people on X that chimed in and said they wanted to do it. So we opened it up and we promoted for like, I would say 25, 30 minutes, a 12-man league. And the league was full by the time I could even respond to certain DMs. So if you aren't a part of the fantasy league, I'm sorry. I apologize. Every single year, we're going to reset the league, and people that weren't able to participate the year before, they'll have a chance to participate the following year. So that's number one. So don't get too down on us. Don't give up on us yet. That's number one. Number two, August 16th. I know it's a very, very odd day. Very, very odd day. But our fantasy draft, if you're in the fantasy league, because I know that I use NFL. That was a blaze on my part. I shouldn't have used NFL because there's no chat on NFL. However, August 16th, if you were on the fantasy or in the fantasy league, August 16th at 11 a.m. Eastern time. Check that. My apologies. That's not right. My apologies. August 16th at 1 p.m. Eastern time will be our draft. August 16th at 1 p.m. Eastern time will be our fantasy draft. So if you are in the fantasy league, then just know that that's what we have coming up. That's what we have coming up. August 16th at 1 p.m. That'll be the fantasy draft. Go get your Carolina Reaper shirts. For everybody that's on YouTube right now, if you guys haven't already, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn the bell notification on so you guys can stay in tune and then tap with everything that we got going on. That's all I have. That's all I have. I'm gonna go through the chat real quick. I see Haley hating on me already. She just get off of work and just get home and get to hating. This shit is crazy. You got to be very dedicated. You got to be very dedicated to be hating like that. But I'm gonna chill. Me too, bro. Me too. I think it's gonna be special. I think this season's gonna be special. What up, Brendan? What's popping? Shout out to Unc, man. Love, bro. Spiderlink, what's popping? What's your cash app? Unc said I'm the leader of the Panthers fan community. My cash app is JJ dollar sign. Actually, I don't know if I want to even give that shit out like that because y'all niggas be hacking this shit. Huh? Unc, DM us. DM the Twitter or the Instagram. Or just go to for PanthersFans.com and tap in that way. If you're trying to buy a shirt, if you're trying to give me some money, off the strength of trying to give me some chocho, then I you know what I'm saying? I might be more willing to give it. You feel me? But if you're trying to purchase a shirt, you can go on forPanthersFansOnly.com right now, and sizes have been restocked. Do they shrink in the wash? No, they do not shrink in the wash. But I will say, because our marketing director, she's in here talking shit about me, so I'm about to get on her ass too. She had the bright idea to see an all over print, or all around print, and not wash it inside out. We gave her the business for that already, so I ain't gonna be on her top too much. But if you do buy one of these t-shirts, I'm gonna tell you right now, it is in your best interest for you to wash the shirt inside out. Now I've had, we sold over 175 of the Reaper tees, and I've only had 2 instances where something has happened, but it was both of them were because of people putting it in the washing machine without turning it inside out. I have multiple, and I've washed mine multiple different ways, whether it's the cleaners, whether it's hand wash, whether it's machine wash. I've washed them multiple different ways, and I haven't had any issues at all. As far as shrinkage is concerned, no, they will not shrink, but I will say the design will be damaged or has the opportunity, the possibility to be damaged if you don't turn it inside out. So when you wash them, if you machine wash them, make sure to turn it inside out. Because if you don't, then you're going to be mad and y'all going to be blaming us for a shit product. Well, really, it's not a shit product. You just need to see all of that paint and see everything that we got going on that design and just turn it inside out. It'll make your life a lot easier. And if I was a grimy businessman, then I would just tell y'all to wash the shit straight up so it messed up and y'all bought another one. But that's not what I'm trying to do. That's not who I am. I'm trying to make sure that everybody has the opportunity to get one, which is part of the reason why we even decided to restock in the first place. So no shrinkage, but I will say wash it inside out. Yes. If you're talking about the home opener, yes, we'll be at the Atlanta game. If you're talking about the away game, I think it's November 12th or November 15th, one of the two. Yes, we will be at both Atlanta games. My uncle actually, he's a huge diehard Atlanta Falcons fan. He actually hit me up today about his tickets because he has 2 sets of season tickets. He has one in the suite and one on like row 5, like directly behind the Falcons bench. So all of that being said, we will be at both of those games for sure. So yeah, tap in with us. Yes, we will be. We will be at the Atlanta home game. It is on the NFL app. That was a mistake. I should have just used Sleeper. Facts, KP. You right. Bloody. Just know you ain't gonna beat me. You ain't gonna beat me. No, the draft order has not been established yet. The draft order has not been established yet. We'll do that Saturday. I think I told you the last time you asked that we were going to do it that Saturday, and I just totally forgot. But I promise you, this time we'll drop it this Saturday, this upcoming Saturday. And if I forget, and it's like 4 p.m. Eastern time, bloody, and you won't see it on any of our socials, just DM us and remind me, and I'll make sure that we make it happen. Candyman in the building. Candyman, what's happening? What's popping, Candyman? I got this from the team store this past weekend when we went to Fan Fest. I went in the team store, ended up spending like $60 on this hat and a damn Gatorade towel. And I texted the group chat today, and I was just like, I'm addicted, bro. I have a problem. And I acknowledge it. So I guess it's better to be self-aware than to be in denial. But yeah, appreciate it. I got it on. It's actually Mitchell and Ness. So you could probably go on their website, and they may or may not have them available. But I got mine from the team store. Yes, Sirski. Yes, Sirski. We love that. Hey, I seen quite a few Carolina Reaper tees in the building for Fan Fest, bro. I seen a couple of them. I'm not gonna lie, it made me warm and fuzzy inside. I'm not gonna hold you. No cap. Shout out to all y'all that be rocking y'all Reaper tees. And I will say, not to do more marketing and promo, but it's a great wear, bro. Very comfortable, great quality material. The design is insane. I mean, I think we can all agree on that. But it's a phenomenal wear. So if y'all haven't got it, like I said, go to forPanthersFansOnly.com right now and go cop that. All right. I think I've given plenty of time. I mean, we've been going for 15 minutes now, so I've been given plenty of time. This is how things are going to go tonight. I just did an interview with Alex Zietlow from the Charlotte Observer. As y'all know, training camp is closed to fans. So just did an interview with him, literally wrapped it up probably 90 minutes ago. So this is like literally fresh off the press. But I asked him some questions about training camp. It was a really, 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 really dope interview. I've never spoken to Alex outside of the DM. So first and foremost, shout out to Alex for even coming on the platform. I told him, like, hey, FPFO and Move the Chains and whatever the case may be, we don't really get them type looks, bro, because we're not really PC. Like, we won't keep shit cute over here. You feel me? So shout out to him for even taking a chance on us and giving us that opportunity. I think the interview went phenomenal. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna drop this interview right now. On the live stream. I'm gonna let y'all check that out. And then when I come back, we'll have Terrence and Tavian join. We'll go through some of the preseason stuff that we want to touch on. We'll go through joint practice yesterday and how the offense allegedly shredded the defense of the Cleveland Browns. What we're looking forward to in the preseason, whatever the case may be. But folks, listen, we are literally 23 and a half hours away from the Carolina Panthers season officially kicking off. Week 1 in Bank of America Stadium tomorrow night at 7 p.m. The Carolina Panthers will be playing football. It's the greatest time of the year. No question about it. The greatest time of the year is here. So like I said, I'm going to throw this interview on right now. You guys check that out. And then what I'll do is I'll hop back on. We'll get Terrence and Tavian in, and we'll go from there. So I'm going to try and do this real quick and make sure I don't mess it up because this is my first time doing it. But I think I should be okay. I think I'm talented enough to do it without messing up. Or maybe I'm not. Shout out everybody in chat. Do more good. What's popping? Penny was popping. Facts, bro. Lock in. Earl, what's popping? I just seen you over at Doug's spot. What's cracking, man? All right, here we go. Hope you guys enjoy this. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a very, very special guest in the building tonight. Alex Zietlow from the Charlotte Observer. Very, very excited, man. Very exciting times. Alex, how you feeling, brother?
I'm feeling so great, and I'm honored to be on the show, bro. Let's do it.
Bro, I'm honored to have you, man. You're big time. Hey, usually FPFO don't get looks like this, man. You know what I'm saying? We not too PC, so it's hard to get these type looks. I'm in the presence of greatness yet again, second time this week.
Oh my God, please stop. It's funny that you say that because literally right before we're getting on camera, I was like, do I need to put on a hat? Does my hair look terrible? And so I just threw on this hat. I'm a mess as well. So what, or not as well. I'm just a mess, period. So whatever.
Fair enough. Two peas in the pod in that regard, then, brother.
I'm really, they're like above the 3 years. I have Panthers for obvious reasons. I was enchanted by Cam. 2015 was actually the year when I really started to become a follower of the Carolina Panthers for obvious reasons. I was enchanted by Cam Newton, enchanted by the togetherness of that team and how that team could impact not only the city of Charlotte, but of North Carolina. And I've always wanted to write. That's all I've wanted to do. So I go to North Carolina and I write for the student newspaper there. I end up getting a job at the Rock Hill Herald, which is in Rock Hill, South Carolina, about 30 minutes south of Charlotte, covering high school sports and covering Winthrop athletics. If you know about Winthrop, it's a small Division I college. Their men's basketball team makes a tournament every once in a while, really good men's basketball team. And then after that, in 2022, actually in August 2022, I joined the Charlotte Observer. And so I just eclipsed my 3-year anniversary at the Charlotte Observer. And that first year I was doing mostly thank you so much, man. That first year I was mainly doing like general assignment stuff, just really anything that the paper needed me to do. And then the past 2 years I have been writing about the Panthers, and pretty much exclusively about the Panthers, with my colleague Mike Kay and our columnist Scott Fowler. And it's been a dream.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Now, were you did you have a hand in the development of the Superman documentary, or was that just Scott, or what? Like, how did that develop?
That was all Scott Fowler and his like long form projects partner in crime guy, Thaden Janes.
Okay.
We knew it was happening, and we occasionally gave, like, I don't know, input or enthusiasm or whatever. But and if I'm being completely honest, like, I definitely wish that I had a role in it because it turned out so well, in my opinion. It was really well done. There were a couple. Have you seen the documentary?
Yes. Yes. Yep.
Well, I would love to hear what you thought. I thought it was really well done.
Yeah, I love the fact that we got some of the behind the scenes and kind of, hearing from the players, and kind of their perspective, because I think that gets lost as a fan. Like, obviously, these guys are just human beings at the end of the day, right? But being a fan, it kind of gets lost in the sauce of, okay, this is just these guys' jobs at the end of the day, right? So kind of seeing that human aspect of it, that was very, very insightful. I love the fact that they incorporated the Make a Wish kid. His name is slipping my brain. Braden, I believe his name is.
Braylon,
Because I
yeah.
believe that was like one of the first fan fests I believe the Panthers had. If not the first, and like the second. But I remember the first thing I started attending, as for like in that regard, before I started attending camp or anything like that, me and my family would actually go to Fan Fest, right? And I actually remember like that whole ordeal when Braden was introduced to the fans, and just the story behind that. So that was really, really dope to see, 10 years later. So I enjoyed it. I thoroughly enjoyed it, to be honest.
Oh, that's awesome, man. Yeah, no, I thought that the way that they incorporated how the city felt about the team was really special. I really love Jonathan Stewart's quote about, if I could bottle up the feeling after the NFC Championship game that year after they won. and how celebratory it was and how excited the city was. Like he said that he would bottle up that feeling and put it in his pocket. And really the story of the last decade have been the Panthers trying to chase that feeling over and over again. Cam Newton was, we don't have to relitigate all this, but Cam Newton was never the same after a certain hit on a certain shoulder. Then he left, and then the Matt Rule era comes in. He tries to recapture that magic with Cam again back when they bring him back in 2020 or 2021 or whenever it was, and that doesn't happen. They haven't gotten the quarterback position right up until this point, although a lot of people are really high on Bryce Young right now. Well, I'm sure we'll talk about that, but like everything about this team, this era of the Panthers has been trying to chase that 2015 team, trying to build from like a player-led locker room with your linebackers being the leaders on defense and your quarterback being the leader on offense, and a coach who is like trying to have fun all the time and is trying to like build this party-like atmosphere like Dave Canales is sort of doing, kind of similar to what Ron Rivera did. So, like it's important to look back on that 2015 team because they provided a blueprint that this Panthers team is still trying to recapture. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, 1000%. And I tell people all the time, man, like I know a couple of fans that, you know, didn't necessarily start following the Panthers even after 2015. There were some people that I know weren't necessarily following the Panthers. I tell people all the time the way the city felt, because I actually reside in Greenville, North Carolina. So I'm, 3.5, 4 hours out, whatever the case may be. But the way the city felt when you pulled up during 2015, it is something special, bro. Like it's hard to even put it into words because anytime I say it, people just look at me like I'm crazy. But there was just a certain buzz and a certain atmosphere around the city. Very, very special. Very special.
Well, and that's what you hear when you listen to these players in training camp. Like all of them, and like Robert Hunt's the first guy that's coming to mind, but all of them are like, we only won 5 games last year, but it felt like we made a playoff run based on how much the city is just, in the state really, is just starving for a winner. And when you when you put it into the context of the rest of the Charlotte sports, like the Panthers actually didn't have the most depressing year of all the Charlotte sports teams last year. Charlotte FC had a really good year, but the Hornets were just like out of it like midway through the season before the All-Star break. This city, like if there is a winner, the fans will go nuts. Like even if there's just hope at the end of the season and the quarterback is looking like the star that he could be, and the head coach is meshing with said quarterback, and you're beating the Falcons in overtime, like that's enough for this city to get really excited. Robert Hunt felt that, Nick Scorton felt that, and he's just a draft pick. Like I think that there's palpable excitement, and now that the fans couldn't make it to training camp, like the beat writers are especially feeling that, because anytime, at least for me, anytime like Bryce Young throws a dime to Tedoroa McMillan and he catches it and it's a big gain or whatever, I'm just like, oh my gosh, like fans are gonna love this when we put it out there. So like that feeling like isn't all that far away. All that needs to happen are the wins. Really, that's really all that has to happen.
1000%. And you mentioned you guys on the beat are the lucky ones for this year, because as people know, with the construction going on and everything like that, fans are not allowed, in camp this year. So just tell me a little bit, like speak more about the feeling within this team, because from the outside looking in, I'll be honest, it feels a lot different. It feels as though it feels different in the locker room, the way that everybody is on the same page, that cohesion, etc. It really, really does feel different and look different from the outside looking in. So just speak on that a little bit, if you don't mind.
Absolutely. The competition level has ramped up. No question. The intensity has ramped up a ton. No question. A lot of people are making out the fact that the Panthers and the Browns didn't have a patented brawl or this big fight in a joint practice as like they're trying to read into it. There were still like minor kerfuffles around. Like Chuba Hubbard still had a ball chucked at his face mask. You know what I'm saying? And the whole team had to come and did. I remember that play so vividly. Chuba Hubbard catches the ball out of the backfield. I think it was just a simple flat route, and he gets pushed into the Browns' defensive sideline, and Chuba is just like this. He is a dog, but he's not the most imposing presence. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
he is just like he's just like getting in the mix with all these massive linebackers and these cornerbacks who are just looking over him, and he's talking to him, and you can even tell he wears a visor, but like so you can't see his eyes, but you can see his smile, and he's just smiling while he's talking, and everyone else is getting really agitated, and he's just like smiling right in their faces, and he hands the cornerback the ball, and the guy just like throws it right back at him, and then a kerfuffle ensues. Like this team has dogs on them, and they have lovable players on them like Chuba. It's going to be, you're hard pressed to find someone who doesn't like Bryce Young or isn't at least rooting for him, because the way he presents himself, the way that he is just like says everything right in the press and in the media, and the way that when he's really feeling himself, just like plays on this dazzling, unbelievable level where he can throw the ball to Tommy Tremble, and before it hits his hands, he can turn around and flash for the camera. Like they have all these like lovable dudes that I think the fan base can really get around. But anyway, I'm getting off topic. To your point of like the intensity ratcheting up, you could see that day one of pads. Like they're like this defense, after getting carved up or whatever, they're hitting a little bit harder. They're not letting Bryce Young just scamper into the end zone when you're not supposed to even touch the quarterback. Nick Scott is popping him pretty hard and is like, no, you're not getting in this end zone. And that starts a thing. Like, it's just like there is something in the air. And Dave Canales even talks about how the competition is special. I think you're hitting on something there. Like, this year does feel different. I've only been covering this team. This is my third training camp covering this team. And this is by far the most intense and most fun training camp of the three. Now, I don't know how this compares to guys who have been on the beat for longer, like my colleague Mike Kay or Scott Fowler, who has been covering this team for forever, like literally since its inception. But this is leaps and bounds more exciting than 2 years prior.
Yeah. Yeah, and just speaking on that real quick, I mean, I think that this coaching staff has done a phenomenal job. And every time Dave Canales has the opportunity to mention it, he does, about challenging the room. It seems as though they've bred this sense of everything we do is a competition. And I'll be honest, I love it. I love it. And just to kind of speak on, your experience over the last 3 training camps, I had the pleasure of being at the last 2. And from the outside looking in, again, it seems as though things are ratcheted up to another level. Even with the padded practices, man. Like, I remember being there last year, and maybe they would go a day or 2 consecutively with the pads or whatever the case may be. It seems like even that, it seems like there's more padded practices and stuff like that. I love it. Like I said, from the outside looking in, I'm excited, and it's hard not to be excited, to be honest.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I think they were even going to try to go for 4 consecutive padded practices, but then there was just like a monsoon on Tuesday. Because they wrapped up with 2 straight days of padded practices last week, and then I think they were going to go Tuesday, Wednesday, and obviously Wednesday was going to be pads against the Browns with that joint practice. So I think they were going to try to string together 4 straight days of padded practice because Dave loves it so much. But it got a little dangerous because there was literally a flash flood warning. But yeah, I'm glad that y'all are feeling it, because that's exactly how we're feeling it on the field.
For sure. You mentioned earlier, just talking about Chuba Hubbard and the scuffle that was at that time. Panthers Twitter, we get kind of delusional, and we do this thing where we start getting a little hype and doing a little bit too much. But based on everything that we saw from joint practice with Cleveland yesterday, it seems as though the Carolina Panthers dominate offensively. Defensively, I would like to get your take on that as well. But it seemed as though the Carolina Panthers offense kind of dominated Cleveland's defense. Is that the way it actually went, or is that just us being on Panthers Twitter and getting, that propaganda, so to speak?
That's a great question. I was there for all of Panthers offense versus Browns defense. I missed about 5 minutes of reps because I had to put together the story about JC Horn hurting his thumb with that car accident, which is what a crazy story, actually. Like, literally driving into work on Wednesday morning and gets in a wreck and can't practice. It was nuts. But outside of that, I saw every single rep that outside of 5 minutes, I got every single rep of Panthers offense versus the Browns defense. And even I was like, wait, are we all seeing what we're seeing right now? Like, the Panthers are carving this defense up. Like, are we all seeing this? There were a couple plays that, obviously not every play was a completion, but there was even one incompletion that sticks out in my mind. Teteroa is lined up, I believe, in the slot, and he's running a flag route to that back pylon, and Bryce sets up. He's really well covered, really well guarded. And Bryce sets up, and instead of leading him to the back pylon, he throws it at his back shoulder, which is not what you're supposed to do in theory on a flag route. But that's the only place he could put it for Teteroa to get two hands on it. And so he does that thing, and T-Mac tries to turn back, and he gets both hands on it, but ultimately drops it. But that's still a winning rep. That's still a gorgeous pass from Bryce Young. So much so that Dave Canales even talked about in the post-practice press conference. He was like, yo, you were that pass was crazy. Me and Bryce just looked at each other and smiled. And Bryce was sharp like that all day. I think the next route or the next rep, he hit T-Mac on a crossing route in the end zone where he had a defender draped all over him. Surprised there wasn't a flag thrown on that play. Sometimes even I had to be look around and be like, wait, we're all watching this, right? This is the Panthers are winning. The Panthers are doing their thing on this side of the ball. I thought Bryce looked really good. Now, were there some things to clean up? Yeah, the run game, the Browns did a pretty good job of stopping every run at or near the line of scrimmage outside of one or two, but the pass game looked really good. If you're the Panthers, and that's really what you're looking for in training camp, because this offensive line, particularly the interior offensive line, is going to be good. That Chuba Hubbard's going to be good. The question is the pass game, and they've really passed the eye test, and they really passed the eye test against the Browns, which you can take that for what you want, but I think that you could take that to the bank. That's a really good sign.
That is a great sign. That is a great sign, because if we're just having an honest conversation, outside of Bryce Young's last 10 games last year, it's been a struggle for this offense. It's been a struggle. So then, of course, you make the additions of Rico Dowdle, another 1,000-yard rusher. You go get Teteroa McMillan out of the draft. So you realize and acknowledge the fact that it is a problem. So I'm like I said, I'm excited. I know I've said it a couple of times, and also I will tell you, Alex, for the people that watch us and the people that are familiar with our content, they know that every single year that I get excited and I start getting delusional. So unfortunately, I don't know if I should trust this feeling or not, but I trust you. I trust you, and I trust what you're telling me. So I'm excited about that. You mentioned the pass game. I have a hypothetical situation for you, and You can answer or choose not to answer, but I don't think it's that crazy. I just want your opinion. Hypothetically speaking, the Carolina Panthers only take 6 receivers. Based on what you've seen in camp, who are those 6?
Those 6 are this. If it's 6 receivers: T-Mac, Adam Thielen, Xavier Legette, Hunter Renfrow, Jimmy Horn Jr., Jalen Coker. Those are my 6. And that's not because David Moore hasn't had a good camp. He actually really has. At FanFest, he had he had like a wonderful day at FanFest, catching deep passes and like these quick little in routes from Andy Dalton, really moving the ball down the field. And he's invaluable to that room, like full stop, period, point blank. Like he's really important to them. He is working on, it is an uphill battle for him because he is a vested veteran. And just per NFL roster rules, if a vested veteran is on the roster come week 1, that player's salary is guaranteed for the season, period. So that is different than a Jalen Coker. That is different than all the young guys. Adam Thielen is going to get his because they essentially gave him a raise to come back to the team this year. Hunter Renfrow, I think, has had such a good training camp outside of his hamstring injury, where like he's played his way onto the roster. So I think if the Panthers do keep 6 receivers, it's going to be David Moore is not going to be the guy on the initial 53-man roster. But he has said before on the record that he wants to play for Dave Canales, and really that checks out because that is who he's spent the latter part of his career with. It's a guy that like he really trusts. And so what would be the issue if David Moore like if he has to? I personally think they're going to keep 7, but you have to. What the issue if he spends a little bit of time in the practice squad and then inevitably injuries happen, wide receivers go on the IR or whatever, then he's going to step up and like get his chances, just like Jalen Coker did. He was on the practice squad last year and then ended up becoming a staple of this offense last year. So like I mean, I'm giving you a long-winded answer because like I think a lot of David Moore personally, and obviously as a wide receiver. I think if there's one guy who is out, it's him, but it's not from anything that he did. It's just kind of like a numbers game. Sure. But he will provide stats this year. He will be active this year for the Panthers. Just when or how it looks remains to be seen.
That's good. That's great information. Listen, you don't have to ever apologize to me or preface you being long-winded for me. Trust me. I know how it goes. I get it. I totally understand.
JJ, I want to toss it to you though. Who do you, like just based on your preferences or maybe whatever, like, are you cool with that? Like, would you be cool if David Moore's the guy out, or do you have another guy who you think should be the 7th wide receiver, so to speak?
Sure. Yeah. I am cool with David Moore being that odd guy out, should it come to that. I think that the Panthers have shown us that they're willing to keep 7 receivers, right? We saw it last year. We saw it a year prior. So it's one of those situations in which I don't necessarily believe that the Carolina Panthers don't take 7 receivers and only take 6, just based on what history tells me. Hypothetically speaking, though, if we only did keep 6 and David Moore was that guy out, I personally would be fine with it. You mentioned FanFest. This is the thing with David Moore, and this is why it kind of gets a little bit convoluted, so to speak, is the fact that when you look at, I'll just say training camp, right? And I'll say training camp last year and FanFest this year, because this is what I've been able to put my eyes on as it pertains to practice and things like that. When you look at a lot of the deep shot connections that we see from Bryce Young or that we see from Andy Dalton, from FanFest on Sunday or Saturday rather, because I'm pretty sure there was only like 2 or 3 real pop plays, and David Moore was a part of one of those pop plays, and the other one was XL, and then the other one was the fake punt to Lathan Ransom, right? So you take that into account. You take into account last year, majority of the long balls were going to David Moore or Tompkins, who's no longer here, right? So that's why like I said, that's why it kind of gets a tad bit convoluted for me. Outside of that, though, based on what we've been told, again, I believe Hunter Renfrow has outperformed him. I still believe that Hunter Renfrow has a lot of juice left in the tank. And if he can stay healthy, I know, like you mentioned, he's dealing with that hamstring injury. Does he missed like 5 or 6 practices consecutively at this point? But that to me speaks volumes to his level of comfortability. Like, it seems like Hunter Renfrow feels as though, hey, look, I've done enough through OTAs. I've done enough through training camp. I'm confident in where I am. And the fact that the Carolina Panthers aren't necessarily pushing him to get back on the field, that indicates to me that if we were to come down to a top 6, then he would have the edge over a guy like a David Moore. So that's kind of where my thought process is and where my head is in that regard. Throwing it back to you, at times this off season and this summer specifically over the last 2.5 weeks, it seems as though Jalen Coker has kind of gone MIA. My opinion, just based on what I'm seeing from the beat and what I'm seeing from the videos, it seems as though Jalen Coker has gone MIA. Now, I know he had the 2 touchdowns and 7-on-7s yesterday. Has there at any point been a time where you felt as though Jalen Coker could potentially be on that bubble? Because there are, fans out there that would say that Jalen Coker isn't necessarily a lock, even with the amount of production that the Carolina Panthers got from him last year.
Was there ever a time that I thought that? I mean, perhaps, but I think that, let me just be clear. I think Jalen Coker's making this team. I can't really foresee a future where Jalen isn't on this initial 53-man roster. Now, if some things happen and the Panthers have 7 on the 53, and then they add 2 guys on waivers, or they added 6 last year. They won't add as many as they did last year, but they somehow add a whole bunch of guys from waivers, or like they try to get a trade going to add some linebacker depth or whatever the case may be. And they need to get rid of, or they need to let go of 2 receivers. Then yeah, okay. Then maybe Jalen Coker gets waived, maybe. But I am someone who believes in Jalen Coker's potential. I believe in the tools that he has. Let's not forget, he had the highest vertical leap in the NFL Combine 2 years ago, or 2 combines ago. He has physical tools that just simply other receivers don't have. And I think that's enough for a Dave Canales, a wide receivers coach by training, to believe in this kid. And also, he came to camp. He was in Charlotte the entire spring and summer. He came to camp in shape, strong, healthy. He was dealing with a quad injury in the springtime. He got all those soft tissue injuries settled. He feels great. I just don't think there's a world where Jalen Coker doesn't make the initial 53-man roster. And I mean, a lot of that comes down to the fact that, I see a lot of positives in him, and just in general, talking to the coaching staff, they really, really love him. Of course, if you talk to the coaching staff, they love everybody, which is like going to be tough. It's going to be tough. You know what I'm saying? Sure. Like it's literally, this cut down day is going to be tough for this offensive side of the ball. But my mind goes to Raheem Blackshear, starting kick returner and punt returner. But you have so many punt returner and kick returner options. If you have Hunter Renfrow back there, if you have Jimmy Horn Jr. back there, you already have 3 running backs that you've devoted a lot of resources to, plus a Jonathan Brooks who's going to come back in 2026. With obviously Chuba, Rico, and then Trevor Etienne, who you devoted a draft pick to. Where does Raheem Blackshear fit into all this? I don't know. I say all that to say I don't think Jalen Coker is at the top of mind when it comes to, hey, is this guy on the bubble? I think there are a couple other guys that I would go to first when determining that.
Sure. Understood. And I'm assuming based on that, Raheem Blackshear would be one of those guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a Raheem fan. Hey, I think he was actually quite fine in the return game last year. He was a leading candidate for a Pro Bowl for a second last season because he had somewhere near the top of the league in kick return yards. Now the Panthers had a lot more kick return opportunities because their defense wasn't very good and all these things. But I'm not even saying this is an indictment on him. Like at this point in the season, it's just a numbers game, you know?
Yeah. And it is very crowded on that side of the ball. I will say, based on what we know and what we've seen, it does seem very crowded on that side of the ball for sure. But that is a great problem for the Carolina Panthers to have, especially when you just take at what this offense has done or lack thereof over the last 3 or 4 years. So that's a great problem to have. I know that we're running short on time. I just wanted to go to this very briefly. We talk about the offense and the amount of depth that they currently have. The other side of the ball, though, it's a completely different story, specifically when you look at that inside linebacker room and the secondary. What have you been seeing from those two groups specifically?
I have been hearing that this coaching staff is in love with Lathan Ransom, which is probably a positive thing for most Panthers fans to hear, I would imagine, because obviously a rookie safety, they just need bodies at safety for a little bit. The safety room has been a topic of discussion all off season, and you go out and you get Trayvon Merrig from free agency, great. Still needed some more depth. You retained Damani Richardson, a guy that I thought was straight up the best tackler on the team last year. Great. Who else? They retained Nick Scott, who is a really good special teams player and has gotten a lot of reps with the ones at the safety spot. But he struggled with tackling at times last year and just struggled in general as the rest of the defense did. Lathan Ransom, however, is this really compelling guy who is kind of like the heir apparent to Merrig. He's a hard hitter. He seems to be in the right place all the time. Dave Canales talked about that after Lathan had a really good practice on Tuesday. Seems to be in the right place all the time. Has pretty good hands. He got an interception. Like you said, he caught that pass from Sam Martin at FanFest. He's pretty athletic, hard hitter. I'm really high on Lathan, and I really think that the rest of this backfield is in an okay spot. When you think of Shamar Bartholomew kind of flashing a little bit, when you think of Corey Thornton, this undrafted guy having a really, really, really good camp. And then you got Mike Jackson and JC Horn, JC Horn is a Pro Bowler, but both of them are also really big and really fast. And so it's going to be a different look that teams are going to have to kind of game plan for. And whenever you have like an identity on defense, even if it's just from one unit, it's like good. It just simply is. The linebacker spot you are correct to be a bit concerned about. I think Trevin Wallace is going to have a massive jump this year. Christian Roseboom obviously is coming off a year with 100+ tackles or whatever, but and he is really good in the run game, according to people in the building and scouts and all these things, or in his film and all these things. He will be tested in the passing game. He just will, and that will be interesting. And then outside of them, you got Claude and Cherilus, who just went down with it appeared to be a leg injury or a lower body injury against the Browns in that joint practice. He was quite competent when he played in Josie Jewell or Shaq Thompson's stead last year, but he has a certain ceiling. So, the inside linebacker room is going to be interesting. The good news is that Merrig is essentially an extra linebacker on that field sometimes because he plays so close to the box and because he or so close to the line of scrimmage and sometimes plays in the box and just loves to get in the mix with all of that. That's really he can really transform the identity of this defense really just by his versatility. And we're already kind of seeing him do that. So I'm rambling again because there's just so much to say about this team, but I think that if the rest of everybody else is doing their jobs, the inside linebacker group will be protected so to speak, because Merrick is so because he is so versatile and because the DB room is really good, or not really good, is like much improved from the year before. And I didn't even talk about the defensive line being much improved from the year before too, but they're really good. So the inside linebacker spot is vulnerable, but if everybody else can do their jobs, I think they'll be okay.
Sure, that's great insight. That's great insight. Somebody you didn't mention, Shaw Smith Wade. It seems like he's been having a great camp as well.
Yes, he has been. He, like Shamar Bartholomew and like Lathan Ransom, have appeared to be in the right spots. He hasn't made the plays on the ball like I know that he would have liked to. He dropped 2 interceptions against Bryce one practice alone, and then he ended up getting another, I think, the next practice. He is a guy who came in, never played nickel corner at all last year, and was essentially expected to do that. And now he has a year under his belt in this scheme, a year under his belt playing this nickel corner spot. And I think he can be, I think he's poised for a jump just from familiarity and all these things. And the Panthers need him to, because they spent a draft pick on him.
Yeah, that's a great point. And outside of that, I mean, I understand what you're saying about the cornerback room, but it just behooves Panthers fans for him to work out as well as the Carolina Panthers. Because I personally, I don't know how I feel about the depth. Now, I know a lot of people, as well as yourself, are very high on Corey Thornton, but I just got to see it. I just have to see it.
That's fair. I mean, you have to see all these undrafted guys go at it. Like, that's how it goes. Yeah. But there's a reason why he's been matched up with T-Mac. There's a reason why he's been matched up with Xavier Legette. Like, he is going up not only against Panthers' more talented receivers, but against the bigger guys. And those are the toughest matchups in the NFL. And if he can stand up to them, he can guard a lot of different body types against other teams. Now, will he be able to shut down Mike Evans? He won't be asked to do that. So we don't even got to worry about that. But like, will he be asked to shut down other guys in the NFC South? Maybe. I mean, maybe he'll be called on to do that. Who knows?
Good points. All very, very good points. We'll wrap up here. Outside of the stars, right? Outside of the stars for the Carolina Panthers, obviously you have your Bryces and your T-Macs, whatever the case may be. Who should the Carolina Panthers fan base be focusing on heading into the preseason tomorrow night?
Ooh, that's a fun question. I haven't really thought about that one. Okay. This might be a little basic, but I think that fans should keep an eye on Trevor Etienne. He's going to play, and he's going to probably get the most runs out of anyone in this backfield. I imagine, Dave Canales hasn't released his exact plan on what he's going to do at the running back spot, but I imagine you don't play Chuba Hubbard. Enrico Dowdle is old enough and veteran enough to the point where, and proven enough to where I don't think they even play him. So Trevor Etienne is probably going to get the start, and is probably, and again, this is all conjecture, but I don't think you play them. So I think Trevor Etienne is going to get a bulk of the snaps if he doesn't start. And fans are going to see him be really involved in the pass game, because he's been doing these things, man. Like, there was one play that sticks out to my mind where Bryce Young takes the ball out of shotgun and he's rolling to his right, and I can't get too specific in like their exact packages or their exact schemes, because not allowed to do that. But we can just say that he rolls to his right. There's a flood concept sort of thing coming to his right side, and Trevor Etienne just runs his wheel route. Ooh, touchdown. Like, that sort of thing has been happening all camp. And he's been doing that. And I think you see that. I think that there is a possibility where Trevor Etienne makes a real splash. And if he does, that makes 2026 kind of a difficult spot. Now the Panthers have 4 really good running backs. What do you do with them? but that's another year. We haven't even started 2025. I don't know why I'm talking about 26. But, hey, I just where my mind goes.
It's always important to look towards the future.
Just keep an eye out for 23. That's all I'll say.
Good news. That's great news. Great news. And to be honest, that wasn't on my bingo card. I didn't think that you were going to see him. So I'm excited. I'm excited for sure.
Who did you think I was going to say?
I thought you were going to say Corey Thornton.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say Thornton. But hey, I don't know. It's a lot of guys to pick from, bro. You have like almost 100 bodies to pick from. So,
it's so
the
true.
odds were slim.
Oh
already.
My gosh, it's so true. And he's playing his starters this year too. It's there's a lot to do, which this is the first preseason game since covering the Panthers and since I've been covering 23. It's the first one that I'm super excited about because not only am I let's see what this team could possibly be, and there's optimism and all these things, but all the stars are going to be there outside of Derek Brown and because he's still dealing with this rib oblique thing, and outside of JC Horn because he has stitches in his thumb after the car accident. All the stars are going to play pretty much, and that's sick. And the Browns are a really good test for the Panthers. If the Panthers are going to be decent, and I'm talking winning season decent, you're going to have to handle a team like the Browns because they're figuring it out, and their starting quarterback isn't going to play. They're going to start Shedeur Sanders, and the QB1 for them is Joe Flacco right now. So the Panthers the Panthers first teamers should handle these guys. So I'm excited. I just can't wait for the first week of September.
Same. We'll be making a trip down there, so I'm lit. I'm excited, bro. I can't lie to you. Well, I definitely appreciate your time, man. Let people know where they can follow you, where they can find you. Have at it.
Appreciate it. You can follow me on X or Twitter or whatever you want to call it. I am at Alex Zietlow 05. And then breaking news, I just made a TikTok yesterday, and I'm trying to figure out how to build an audience out over there. So if you want, I'm going to just be posting videos and doing the things that I do on Twitter over there. Obviously a bit more visually focused, but I believe it's at Alex Panthers, just ALEX Panthers. So check me out there too. Why not? Let's have some fun.
Perfect. Well, Alex, definitely appreciate your time, man. Continue the great work. Maybe I'll catch you tomorrow. I'll be at the game. So if I see you around or whatever the case may be, I'll make sure I touch base.
Yeah, bro. Say what's up. This was fun. Thank you.
Thank you, brother. We'll talk soon. So yeah, shout out to Alex Zietlow, bro. That shit was, I'm not gonna lie, I had a blast, bro. I had a blast. Very down to earth, very informative. Gave us some great information just on some of the things that the Carolina Panthers had going on inside the training camp that we may not be able to see every day, or whatever the case may be. So I'm super stoked. After that conversation, I'll be honest. After that conversation, it gassed me up even more than I already was. 1 second, my apologies. Let me get this right. Okay, there we go. But yeah, like I said, shout out to Alex. Really dope interview. Definitely appreciate everybody that is a part of the beat. That is willing to, give us as individual content creators or independent content creators, rather, the opportunity to kind of pick their brain about different things that they're seeing and whatever the case may be. So super, super dope opportunity. Got that knocked out today. Like I said, recorded that probably about an hour and a half, 2 hours before the stream. So it was a very, very quick turnaround. But I hope you guys enjoyed that because it was something that's kind of been in the works for quite some time. And I thought it was no better time to do it than today, with preseason week 1 rolling around tomorrow afternoon, or tomorrow evening rather. And then of course we had joint practice yesterday. So just wanted to get another set of eyes that was actually out there that could give us some great outlook on how things went yesterday. So like I said, I upheld my promise for the first portion of the episode, or the stream, however you want to look at it. Do got Terrence and Tavian in the building. I'm about to bring them up right now, and we're going to talk some Panthers football and just some things that's been going on in the news with the guys. Gentlemen. It's no problem. So we're gonna give him the opportunity to fix what he has going on and to take that bullshit down. And then once he does, we'll rock out. Terrence, what's cracking?
Nobody moves. Nobody gets hurt. No, can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. All right. Cool. What's good?
What's popping?
Chilling, man. Chilling.
So you got the new joint on.
Yeah. I forgot about it, bro. Like I put it up the other day, completely forgot about it, and I was like, what a perfect time to throw it on. So
fair enough.
Yeah, I heard something he said about the Trevor Etienne situation, which was very interesting because I was thinking about it before he even said something about it, alluding to next year when he was talking about how Etienne has been performing. But I'm like, dang, I be forgetting Jonathan Brooks is on the roster just because he's been injured the past 2 years. And yeah,
I thought you were trolling. I'm gonna lie.
Nah, I'm being dead ass. Like I'm being dead ass. I forgot like that he was on the roster. So I do think that'd be a very interesting situation going into 2026. But you know, Rico's only on a 1-year deal, right? So
yeah, I was about to say, I mean, it's not as congested in that room when you look at the fact that Rico is only in for 1 year, right? So like maybe he pops, maybe he has a phenomenal year this year where he goes for over 1,000 again. But even if that's the case, I don't know if the Carolina Panthers are going to be in a position in which they want to pay Rico Dowdle after 2 1,000-yard seasons back to back, what I presume he would be asking for. But then again, I mean, he went for over 1,000 last year, and the Carolina Panthers were able to get him for relatively cheap, in my opinion. So it could be another one of those situations where then you do have a running back room with 4 guys that can all, make an impact on the game.
Yeah. Tavian back.
Yeah, I agree. Do you have a light?
Yeah, give me a second.
Dark as hell.
One moment.
I'm gonna let you get it right. Just come back on camera when you get it when you get lit up. Tavian, are you gonna take that background down or no? Okay, cool. I mean, I don't know what his problem is. He loves trying to pollute this platform with like bullshit. With bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like we can't do it. We just can't do it. Like two strikes on you for sure. Cowboys background with the Red Sox cap. I can live with the Red Sox cap because that's just all in good fun. But for Panthers fans only, we got to put our foot down. We got to put our foot down. But no, like I said, great interview with Alex Zietlow. Like I said, Terrence was making a great point just about the running back room and what we had going on in that room, because it is definitely there are quite some bodies. There are quite some bodies. Okay, cool.
Does it look better now?
Man, I can't even rep my nigga Joe.
A little bit, yeah. Actually, a lot better. We can at least see you now, so I'll say that. What's up? How you feeling?
Chilling. chilling. We just caught the tail end of it, so I didn't really see what y'all was talking about earlier, but it seemed like it was a good time. So
Yeah, he definitely has some great insight. He definitely has some great insight just on camp overall. I asked him, if he were, or hypothetically speaking, if the Carolina Panthers were to only keep 6 receivers, who would be the odd man out? And he said exactly who us on this podcast have been saying for quite some time, and that's David Moore. Even with Renfro having the hamstring injury and everything like that. So that was very interesting for me. Another point that he made that was very interesting in my opinion too was that the fan base is the coaching staff is like obsessed with Lathan Ransom. That was something that I didn't necessarily see in the cards, especially with that first depth chart dropping. And since I brought that up, we'll go through it like really, really quick too tonight. Since I have you guys on, but yeah, it was. I mean, I had a blast. It was very insightful, and it hit different when you can actually get the information from the horse's mouth instead of having to kind of come up with your own assumptions via what's on X. So definitely appreciative for that opportunity. Tavian, how you feeling, buddy? Are you going to? I won't be on your ass too bad about the Red Sox hat because I just know that. You're happy now because y'all are winning, but that shit won't last and you'll be cursing the GM again.
Bad hair day. I had to wear a hat. I knew I was going to get slander for wearing a Cowboys hat, so I chose the lesser of two evils.
Are those the only hats that you have?
Yep.
Yeah, and for some reason in my body, in my spirit, and in my soul, I just don't believe it.
Those are the only two hats. Those are the only two hats that I wanted to wear today.
Your roommate has a hat for you.
I prefer, we'll rock out with this. Roman Anthony just got his new contract. Shout out to Rome.
The only thing I got him is Spurs hats, Yankees hats, and that's about it. I got an ECU hat.
Actually, I don't know. He'll wear some Panthers gear. He's really an undercover Panthers fan. Me and Dunk was talking about that the other weekend.
Right. Y'all know me, right? Come on. I'm what they say, fan by association. Can we see that? Oh, we can't.
Facts,
oh yeah.
Facts.
Fan by association, man. I'm valid. I'm stamped.
For sure. Terrence, is that a Panthers hoodie?
Yeah. I thought that's what you were referring to earlier.
Nah, I was talking about the cap. When did you get that hoodie?
I got this from this is one of the joints I bought from Goodies. Well, I got from Jake.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
That bitch hard. Shameless plug right there. Actually, if y'all are in the market for some thrift gear, some resale vintage gear, Instagram right now at Goodies and Two Shoes. The letter N, the number 2, Goodies in 2 Shoes on Instagram. Go hit that up. Depop, Mercari, Instagram, all the above. Go tap in right now. That's the movement. That's the lifestyle. No cap. We got so much shit booming. It's not even funny. I'm not gonna hold you. And I think tomorrow we're gonna go ahead and drop some shit.
Yeah. Jake got a lot of Panthers gear too. He got a lot of Panthers gear on stand or on hand. So definitely check the page out. Like you said, Depop, like all of that for your throwback gear.
For sure. Well, I guess we can get into it. I wanted to warm, I wanted to warm everybody up. I gave us ample amount of time for people to get in the building so we can have this conversation with the chat as well as amongst the three of us because y'all know we love interacting with the chat. Shout out to everybody that is watching on all platforms right now. Shout out to the Maz in the building. You know what I'm saying? Like it's good energy. I was telling them before you guys came on and before I even started the interview and running that, I was telling them, bro, the best time of the year is officially here. Preseason week 1 is tomorrow for the Carolina Panthers. I mean, there's no more talking and speculating. The time is now. So I'm super stoked. Are y'all going to the game tomorrow or no?
No, but I will be watching it from the crib. I'm excited though. I'm looking at the Eagles and the Browns game right now. I'm just excited football is back, but I won't be in attendance. Somebody else was asking me that, but I was like, I don't really pop out for preseason like that. But it's also at 7:00. So by the time I get from here to Charlotte, it will just be dead.
Yeah. It's tough. It is tough. It's at a bad time. And the only reason why I'm going, even with the season tickets, is because my pops want to see Shador. So I'm just like, all right, fuck it. We'll make the trip.
Yeah, I mean
No big deal.
that's about worth it in and of itself.
Yeah.
Nah, for real. Especially with the way their quarterback room is constructed right now, and they keep trying to shit them. Let's just go ahead. I mean, we can go ahead and just have an
Weird.
honest conversation.
They
That
set them up
weird,
for
bro.
failure.
situation is terrible, bro.
It's like they don't want him to. I don't understand drafting the guy if you don't really want him to succeed. Like it's the weirdest thing that I think I've ever seen. Like the Shador Sanders situation in Cleveland is got to be the strangest story that I can remember in sports. Like it's everybody shitting on him, even though all he's done, like based off the numbers that the Browns keep putting out, is perform in practice and clearly has performed better than all the quarterbacks on the roster. And yet, for some reason, he's still listed as the last quarterback on the depth chart. Everybody's still, you got these radio hosts in Cleveland slandering his name because his shoulder is sore from working too hard. Like he's throwing the ball too much because he shows up to practice an hour, 2 hours early, gets throws in, stays at late, gets more throws in. Now his shoulder is a little bit sore from all that extra work, and they're slandering his name on the radio. Like I would love for my quarterback shoulder to be hurt because he's not hurt, sore because he's working hard.
Yeah,
like that's a
it's
great
very
sign.
strange.
Yeah, and their media team is so weird because they keep pushing. Well, it's probably coming from the coaches, but they keep pushing this bullshit. Like Dylan Gabriel is just looking head and shoulders above like the rest of the competition. But I was looking at some posts and clips by some people that are actually at the camp. Man, they said Dylan Gabriel looks like shit. And
Dylan Gabriel is not an NFL quarterback.
No.
He's not an NFL quarterback, and I don't know why they keep trying to force him to be, but he's not an NFL quarterback at all.
And it's the actual like mechanics of being a quarterback too. Like he can have all the knowledge in the world, like be able to read the defense XYZ, but like ultimately if he can't get the ball where it needs to go, like I don't really care how well you can read a defense if you can't get it to them.
Yeah, because if you can't deliver the football, then you'll be better off with a damn clipboard on the sideline. And
right.
I really just don't get it. Like Terrence mentioned, every single day out of Browns camp, and now it's gotten to a point because I send my pops all of the, you know what I'm saying? I send him all of the updated stats. Anything Shador, I'm sending it to my pops because he like after what they did to him in the draft, he's like fully locked in on Shador. Every single time, it's like Browns quarterback tracker on Twitter, and they do it under ESPN Cleveland. Every single time I look at that tracker, Shador's outperforming everybody, whether it's Gabriel, whether it's Joe Flacco. We haven't seen much of Kenny Pickett, so I'll give you know what I'm saying, I'll leave him on the list. He's had his opportunity. Nevertheless, every time I send that over, Shador's outperforming everybody on that list. And the fact that they actually allowed him to run limited first team reps yesterday against the Panthers just for him to be named a starter Friday, that's nasty work when you haven't been letting a guy work with a first team the entire summer. That shit is weird. It's very, very weird. That coupled with the fact that your owner comes out and says, oh, I didn't have him on my board. It was a surprise to me that we were going Shador in that moment. Very nasty work, bro. Very nasty work. So all of that being said, I personally am rooting for him tomorrow against the Panthers and for the future, to be honest. Like, hopefully he lays off the defense a little bit. I would like to see us make some plays too, but I'm only going to be so mad, to be honest, if he's out there and he's successful, because I absolutely despise that situation right now. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, it's a crazy situation. I don't understand what they're doing, but I mean, the last few of their quarterbacks, I mean, just dating back from years and years and years, they haven't been on shit. So I mean, maybe the Browns just don't know how to evaluate talent properly. So it being that the owner didn't pick Shador or didn't have him on his board, it might be a fucking good thing. Maybe he'll turn out to be, exactly what they need because the owner didn't pick it this time.
Facts. Well, I mentioned joint practice a couple of seconds ago, and If you guys were on Twitter to the chat, you all as well. If you guys were in the chat or on Twitter, saw anything Panthers related yesterday, it was abundantly clear that we dominated offensively. And I even went a step further and asked Alex about what he saw from an offensive standpoint. And he said even the reps that didn't result in the utmost success with it, whether it's a completion or whatever the case may be, even those reps were looking good. How do y'all feeling about that, about the offense coming out and dominating the Cleveland Browns defense?
To me, it's something to look forward to. It's exciting because the Browns defense, I mean, they have Myles Garrett, Denzel Ward, Mason Graham. So, like, they have players on the defensive side of the ball. So it makes me excited going into the season or even going into this game, just knowing that the offense has been putting on a show. But all in all, like, you can only go so much into it just because, like, you know, we haven't really seen much. The season hasn't officially started yet. So I'll be more happy to see them actually put it on paper, especially when we go to Jacksonville. But all in all, like, I'm excited. Why'd you take down?
Somebody
background back up.
Look,
because
the chat,
him in the chat.
They said, "Where's the cool background?" I put on my background, I get removed. They don't like my background, y'all. I can't, I can't do anything.
Yeah.
But no, I think
what does that say? What is that? Clara? I can't see the name. Kira. Oh, what's up? Shout out Kira. Hey, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and turn the bell notifications on if you're in the YouTube chat right now and you haven't done so. Tavian, the floor is yours.
No, yeah, I think I mean the Browns have one of the better defenses in the league, and if you can, I mean, I know it's so I'm not going to get like too gassed up because it's a scrimmage. It's ultimately practice at the end of the day. But you know, anytime that positive news is coming out, especially the way that the news was coming out from Cleveland media sources saying that the Panthers had just basically dominated the Browns in pretty much all facets of competition on that day. I mean, I think that's a great sign because that's what you want to see. You definitely don't want to see it the other way around. So it can't be nothing but positives from my perspective.
Yeah. Yeah, I would agree with that. I was telling Alex earlier, like the fact that we are, and I have to be, I'm going to be a little bit hesitant to overreact. Like in the moment, it's great and it's fun. You know, it's exciting that we're seeing these highlights coming out and guys being successful or whatever the case may be. And Alex ended up making a great point because he was just like, well, actually, this was Dennis, I believe it was, when he was on Doug's stream a little bit earlier. Excuse me. Shout out, what's up, Doug? One of the two guys, I honestly can't remember, but one of them made the point that like we kind of have to go slow, obviously paraphrasing, but we kind of have to go slow with that simply based on the fact that like we seen Bryce Young and this offense be extremely successful against the New York Jets last year. And we know what happened week 1 and week 2 against the Saints and against the Chargers. So yes, for me personally, I'm excited. Like I said, in the moment, I love seeing it, but at the same time, I'm still gonna go slow and not necessarily overreact because the Browns defense is good. It's not phenomenal. It's not terrible. It's good. But they also had a couple of starters that were out, if I'm not mistaken. And on top of that, it is just practice. And Bryce can't get hands put on him, right? So that's another thing that we have to take into account as well, is because like that shit changes a lot when you're a quarterback and you know niggas can put hands on you, and niggas in this situation being Myles Garrett, right? So I kind of expect the offense in that regard, or a quarterback in particular, to have that level of success.
So because I didn't see anything, not to cut you off, Terrence, but I didn't really see anything about I didn't really see anything about Myles Garrett in the offensive going against the offensive line. Because I'd be really interested to see what those reps between Myles and Ick look like.
Yeah, and that's it. And see, that's why you got to be careful. It's why we always talk about that propaganda. We always on FPFO talk about that propaganda because we saw nothing about Icky and Myles Garrett yesterday. And that, for me personally, being on Panthers Twitter, that doesn't bode well because they were quick as hell to rush that Cam Jackson clip out after he did Bubba the way he did him.
They're probably saving him, honestly.
I think they are. I think they are.
I will also say, what do you have to see in this preseason game to make you feel a little bit better? I know, like right now, you're like, all right, let's go slow. But if you remember back to when we played the Jets in the preseason, I was able to tell from then the way Bryce was just getting put in the dirt. Or I was just able to tell our offense didn't look
Jack.
up the par. Yeah, so
I think it was Andy and Jack because first team offense didn't play until Buffalo.
Oh, so when was this? Was this the first?
That was the first game. When we played the Jets last year, it was the first game. So I don't think we saw any of the starters actually, but it was that offensive line because there was a couple of offensive linemen that were obviously in a battle. But I can't remember who the quarterback was that started that day, but he was getting his dick put in the dirt. You're right.
Yeah. So I mean, what do you?
And I remember that you were like, I'm not feeling it.
Yeah, it was looking nasty. It was looking nasty. So I guess that's when I'll make my real take at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow.
Yes. And to answer your question, I don't know necessarily if there's anything that I can see tomorrow. Like, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm probably should our offense score a touchdown because Dave Canales did say that the starters will be playing. It's going to be limited reps. He said, I believe they're going to get a guaranteed one drive, and then kind of going off of that, they'll decide then. I would say if you see a similar drive to what we saw last year against Buffalo, where the offense walks the damn ball down and scores a touchdown, you probably won't see the starting offense again tomorrow night. That being said, you asked me a direct question, what's going to make me feel better? I'm not going to overreact to anything I see tomorrow, but I will say that
now.
Yeah,
hypothetically speaking, if I see Tetarora or if I see XL go get some shit and crib some shit, I'm not gonna lie and say that when I come back to the house, I may or may not touch myself.
All right.
Just a little. I'm just telling you. No, you want to ask me a direct question, I'm gonna give you a direct answer. I may or may not overreact if I see that. I'll just be honest.
Well, I know when Alex left, you were like you were getting gassed up or whatever. Did you by chance up your win total based on what he was telling you? Or anything like that? Okay.
Not at all. My win total is still around 9 or 10.
I'm just checking the temperature. That's it.
Yeah. No. My win total is still around 9 or 10. He says something very interesting too, which we already knew. So it's kind of like beating a dead horse at this point. But I brought up the depth in the secondary room and at inside linebacker, and he made an argument and good points for the secondary. But then he was like, I will tell you that you're right to be a little bit hesitant in that linebacker room. So I can't up my win total based off of that. Now, if we go out and we go get a CJ Mosley, or we go out and we get an Eric Kendricks, two guys that I would be way more comfortable with rolling out defense one, alongside Roseboom, then maybe I'll start getting delusional. And also, it's gonna be I'm gonna reserve anything as it pertains to secondary depth as well, because niggas are so gassed up off of this Corey Thornton guy. And listen, I know that our front office has a good history. This current regime and this current coaching staff has a good history as it pertains to undrafted talent. But I see a lot of beat writers saying a lot of great things about Corey Thornton. And even Alex, that was part of the pushback that he gave me about the depth in the room, was that Corey Thornton had been so successful up to this point this summer. I personally got to wait and see. Like I even told Alex, I was like, hey, you make a compelling argument for him, and I hope that you're right. But I personally just have to go slow. I had to go slow, and I had to see what he's going to do. So,
yeah.
All of that being said, I didn't up my win total.
Yeah, I don't really know much about Corey Thornton. And I think another thing that he said was interesting is how they like ransom a lot, which I mean, I think that's good that he's been playing that way to where they, trust him in certain situations. And, but I've always said once we draft him, and then also with Trayvon Marrying, like, I just feel like they're kind of the same type of players. Now, I know he said Latham has good hands and he seems to always be in the right spot, but I just don't know I don't know how comfortable I feel with him and Trayvon Marrying being on the field at the same time. Like, if Latham was to move into a starting role like later on down the season, which I don't know if that'll happen, but if he was, I just feel like they're the same type of player. So I feel like that alone still leaves a lot left to be desired in the secondary, personally, for me.
Yeah. Taylor, you got anything?
Well, while we're on the topic of Lathan Ransom, I did want to say, like, the more that I learn about him, the more I'm starting to like him. Like, the more I think that he could be an impact player for the Panthers. I think he's because of the way he's flashed, and then that kind of made me go back into the draft evaluation of him. Um, I'm starting to kind of become a fan of Lathan. Now, he could go out there and completely fuck off, and that would change my stance. But I just don't believe that's going to be the case with Lathan. I do think I think he has the potential to be one of the ones.
For sure. For sure. And I mean, listen, we saw a little tiny bit of it at FanFest because, we saw the fake punt. So he got the opportunity to put his athleticism on display with that. And I mean, obviously, we're putting minimal stock into that because all of these guys are professional athletes. But he did have the opportunity to show some athleticism in that regard. And then we saw a huge hit from him. I believe ETN was carrying the football, and Latham laid his ass down. Right. So just the little tiny bit that we've been able to see of him. I mean, it seems fun, but at the
Didn't he
same
pop?
time, fun doesn't always win football games. Go ahead.
Didn't he pop somebody at the Browns practice too?
I don't know. Did he?
Yeah, I think I might be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure I remember seeing a clip of him catching somebody in that Browns practice.
Yeah. I don't know. Send me the clip if you find it.
Yeah, I have to. I mean, there's so much. I'd have to dig so deep, but
yeah,
I feel like I remembered seeing him pop somebody good.
Shout out
love that.
Candyman in the chat, man.
Love that.
We love to see that, and y'all. There's a couple of y'all that came in here a little bit late, so y'all may have missed a plug at the beginning of the episode. We did something special for FanFest. We restocked the Black Carolina Reaper t-shirts. So if you were not able to get one on our initial drop March 14th, and then for the next 2 or 3 months after that, if you weren't able to get one, you can go get a Black Carolina Reaper t-shirt right now from forpanthersfansonly.com. You can also shoot us a DM. I don't know what would prohibit you from going to the website and doing it, but if for whatever reason you don't want to go to the website and you just want to shoot us a DM, we'll do whatever we need to do. I mentioned earlier, you do need to wash it inside out. And I also mentioned earlier, give us 3 to 6 weeks to get it shipped out, but we're going to try and get it out as fast as possible. Cause I want to make sure that the people that have purchased within the last week or so have the ability to wear it week 1 and at the earlier part of the season. So the faster you purchase, the faster you'll receive your item. So again, if you didn't have the opportunity to purchase a Reaper t-shirt off the initial drop, we have restocked those and they are available right now on forpanthersfansonly.com.
Yes.
So
and
shout
make
out
sure
to Candyman.
And make
What
sure
you
you watch
Candyman, what you about to get? I know they got that $20 special right now. They got that $20 special right now for sure. I hit that shit like 4 or 5 times. Give me that.
This week?
All of that. Huh?
This week?
They've been doing it, but they've been doing it for a while, nigga. All you gotta do is go online and place your order there.
I said, how many times did you hit it this week? You said you hit it about 4 or 5 times.
Oh, man, hell no.
My fault. I just had to see.
Yeah, that would have been outrageous. I'm not gonna lie.
Nah, hell no. I've been in Hilton Head, bro. So I've been eating seafood all week. Yeah,
send me some cho.
I have some great shit. You said what?
Said send me some cho.
Didn't I just send you some XRP yesterday?
The other day. And they just sent me a notification that said what you sent me is went up 5.13%, like that.
Don't tell me that.
You bought it on the dip, so I appreciate that.
Yeah, don't tell me that.
Where my XRP at?
Well,
I didn't get that drop.
Yeah, I mean, I'll let him explain that to you.
No, I don't want to explain. Just know he.
Yeah, just sad and embarrassing.
Just know he made a bet and he lost.
And you requested it in XRP?
Not necessarily, but I was happy that he did.
XRP. I'm just setting the standard. So when y'all gotta pay me my shit, it's gonna be very, very easy and simple. Send my shit in XRP for sure.
Not doing it
for sure. But I'm just telling you.
Well, I won't be paying out nothing. I know my shit's about to.
Yeah, I mean we're up to $3.33 the last time I checked, and it went all the way down to $2.96, I believe, on Monday or Tuesday of this week.
Yeah, I bought that.
Yeah, I bought that for sure. I fucked off.
I bought that too.
Yeah, I fucked off.
Shout out to JJ. GG's JJ in the chat.
Yo, let me check the chat real quick. Tom said this is the Diddy podcast.
Jesus.
I mean, they say
he said that right after you made the comment about touching yourself, so it was deserved.
And a Rico. A Frico and a Rico, man. That's all I can say.
Tavian said some shit today. He's up for a Diddy investigation too.
Oh my God! Here we go. Here we go.
Are you allowed to say it on the live stream, or you can't?
Yes, because it really wasn't. It wasn't even bad. We were talking about 2K, and I didn't really play to 25 like that because I thought it was one of the worst games that they had ever made. So I said I gave y'all a year to get all the shit out your system because when I come back, don't expect the ball from me because I'm a black hole. And that somehow put me up for a Rico.
That is. Yeah, we kind of crazy, but I understand what you're saying given the context.
The vote, yeah, he's up for Diddy. He's up for a Diddy case.
I mean, you can't breathe sideways in there without getting a Diddy accusation. So, I mean, it's sad.
This is who was in the chat tonight, bro? Y'all were tweaking. We have a request for an FPFO sex toy. I mean,
that's crazy.
Y'all see JJ?
Yeah, I won't
hit
JJ up. Make a comment that I want to make. Oh my God, I'm dying to. It's like rising through my body how bad I want to say it, but I'm a chill. For sure. Morgan,
Terrence, they want your attention, Terrence.
I don't know who Morgan is, but I'm in love with you too. Gibson, this are y'all folks. I'm looking at the damn names now. They these are y'all folks. Got the chat bumping though. Yeah, she tweet. She tweet. I can't, like I said, I'm gonna reserve all comments to myself right now, for sure.
See, JJ like that. He liked that last comment. It's so sad.
You know how you get behind stand up straight, bro.
Bitch, I'm up, bitch.
Stand up straight, bro.
Terrence, they want you to read the chat. They're begging for you.
I have my shit on full screen, so I can't. I just see a bunch of crazy shit.
Yeah, it's hella crazy shit. But I'm not gonna lie. I mean, if we got fans like that, then shit. Catch us in Arizona. No, actually, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say that. I don't mean it. We got a lot of people in here. I don't know who the fuck is watching.
Refer to the tag at the beginning of the video. Everybody.
There was no tag drop today, unfortunately.
Oh, shit. Well.
No cap. All right. Let me see. we don't have that much to talk about for real. For real. Let's do this.
Quick question.
Tell me, huh? What's up?
Quick question. When did you decide to go to the preseason game, or was that always a thing?
No, that became a thing probably last Wednesday or Thursday.
Oh, true.
My pops had said, like, he had mentioned it, like I said, like 2 or 3 times. He said something, and then there was just like a point in time where we didn't know if we were going to, and then I just went ahead and copped him a ticket, and I was just like, I mean, let's go. I already have a ticket. I got a deal on the one that I got for him, so it's just like, I mean, why the fuck wouldn't I? It's not that big of a deal. So took a half day at work tomorrow. I needed it anyways. It's a lot going on. So yeah. Tell me this, both of you guys, and I didn't put a specific number on this, but kind of like an overarching view of this question is what I want y'all's answer to be. What are y'all's expectations for the Carolina Panthers preseason? If any, you may or may not have them, but what are y'all's expectations, Terrence? Unfortunately, you can't say you don't have any.
Like, I really don't. Like, it's preseason. So, like, one, I just want us to string together good drives. Like, that's for one. And for two, I would like to see all starters play at some point. I know Dave Canales said that that's going to happen. I would like to see what the linebacker room is going to look like. I know we talked about that a lot, especially with joint practices. But one person in particular that I want to see and see how they perform is Trevin Wallace, because he's going to assume a bigger role this year. And I've seen like a lot of people, I watched a lot of videos where people are like, he got thrown into a system as a rookie, unexpected. So we should cut him a little bit of slack. And, you know, I'm not going to walk back what I said about him because he did look like bullshit. That's not going to take anything away. But I might take a page out of you might have a clean slate with me. So I want to see how he's going to perform. And I don't know this Corey Thornton dude really. So I would like to see what he brings to the table as well. But I think a lot of my expectations comes from like, it's going to come from the defensive side of the ball, because I've seen a lot from the offense last year to where I'm okay with saying, like, with the additional weapons that we added, I think that we'll be solid from an offensive standpoint. I don't think that they did anything but get better in the offseason there, especially with adding Ted, especially with adding Rico Dowdle and a Hunter Renfro, if he does end up making the team. So I'm not so much worried about the offense, because I'm under the belief that we'll be able to string together a lot of points this year. So I'm more so ready to see the improvement from the defense, especially from the worst defense in NFL history. Like, I need to see some improvement there, and that specifically starts in that linebacker room and in the secondary. So those are really my expectations, to kind of see how those two groups pop this preseason.
Oh, phenomenal points.
And I think all of them need to play. I don't think.
Well, Dave Canales said they're playing. Dave Canales said the starters are playing. We probably won't see Renfro. We definitely won't see JC. We definitely won't see Derek Brown because he's dealing with some oblique/rib shit. I don't know what he got going on. Just be ready week 1. I don't need to see shit from him. But the overwhelming majority, like I said, Dave Canales did say yesterday or 2 days ago that the starters will be playing at least a drive or 2.
Yeah, for personally, what I'd like to see from them is, I mean, it's not nothing crazy. Like, I want to see everybody come out of the game healthy. That's number one. That's the top priority for this. Secondly, though, I want to see execution. Like, I want to see clean execution in all phases of the game. Like, I don't want to really see a lot of mental mistakes. Like, I want to know all that stuff is kind of getting worked on. I'm not really going to put too much stock in what sort of plays. Like, obviously, you don't want to see I don't want to see like explosive plays. Like, I don't want to see the defense getting bombed. I don't care if it's the first string to the third string, fourth string, whoever. I don't want to see explosive plays, and I don't want to see the offensive line just getting sliced through like they're not even there. Like, those are the things that I really want to see, and I want to see what their run fits look like, because I think a problem for the Carolina Panthers last season was that run defense. And I want to see how much better that they've gotten in their run fits. And I want to see if that's going to be something that we're going to have to be worried about again. Or did we kind of, because I keep hearing about EJ being a guy, he just needed players, yada, yada, yada. So now you've got a defensive line filled with not just Jags, but you've got a defensive line filled with dudes who can actually ball at this level. So that's what I want to see from them. I want to see clean football, healthy football, and I want to make sure that those run fits are good and no explosive plays.
Yeah, and
from the defense.
Before you go, JJ, I think that's a great point that Tavian made, specifically the defensive line, just because even without Derek Brown, like Tavian said, you brought in a lot of guys who we've seen be successful at this level, i.e. a Bobby Brown, a Turk, Ashawn. You still have Ashawn. So I think even without Derek Brown being on the field, there should be some kind of indication that this run defense is a lot better than it was last year. So that'll be another group that I'm watching in particular. And Princely and is Nick playing? I haven't really heard much about Nick from training camp. I don't know what kind of stopped the taking of that, but I haven't heard much from him.
I mean, based on what I've been seeing, he's done a good job, in the run defense. But outside of that, it hasn't been a Princely showing. I'll just say that. Because Princely has done a lot more, just based on what we've been told, than Nick Scorton has. But I am excited to see that defensive line because, like y'all said, even if DB doesn't play, right, we need to see something. And I will mention, for whatever it's worth, in joint practice, all of the beat writers that were there that were focused on the Panthers defense against the Browns offense, they said that our run defense looked night and day. Said the run defense looked night and day. Now, of course, it is just practice, right? So you can only put so much stock into that. But I would say that that's a positive, just to hear that coming out of camp. For me, like I said, bro, I mean, I feel like we just keep coming back to this topic literally every time we get in front of a camera. But that inside linebacker room, bro, I'm not going to lie, part of my expectations for the preseason is just to see continuous development, specifically with Trevin Wallace. It's something that I'm very, very nervous about. I'll be honest. I'm very, very uneasy about this linebacker room. I really am. I do have enough faith in this front office and coaching staff to understand that they probably do acknowledge that it's a problem. So we will be looking on the wire and free agents or whatever the case may be later on in the summer. But I mean, I need to see constant development from them. That's part of my expectation. And like you said, Terrence, kind of hinted at a little bit. For the offense, when I see first team offense, I mean, I need sharp execution, right? Because you continuously hear from this coaching staff, from Dave Canales, whatever the case may be, that last year, with them being a new coaching staff and with Bryce Young going into his third or second season with his third different play caller, that last year the only thing they wanted to do was implement a new language and new verbiage, right? Now they say this offseason, now we're kind of establishing more sentences. So the developments and the routes are a little more complex, right? The play calling is a little bit deeper. And Alex mentioned it earlier as well that the play calling for the Carolina Panthers offense, it has opened up a little bit. So for the first team offense, bro, I'm especially going up against the Browns' second team or first team with multiple starters out. I need to see pop. I'm not going to lie. Like, I'm probably going to feel a certain way if the Panthers don't score a touchdown tomorrow. The first team offense, if we don't score a touchdown, I'm probably going to feel away. I'm not going to hold you. And if I get a 3 and out, I mean, God help us for when we record Monday, because I won't be a happy camper. I'm just going to go ahead and let everybody know right now. It's not going to be rage mode. It won't be rage mode because I acknowledge it's only preseason. But if we don't string together at least 3, 4, 5 first downs, it's going to be alarming, and it's going to be a problem for me going up against a defense that is going to be without multiple starters and really are going to probably finish at the bottom of their division this year. So those are my expectations, specifically heading into tomorrow.
Would it be crazy? Would it be crazy if I said like another expectation of mine is to see Xavier Legette catch a pass with his hands?
It would just be
Or is
typical
that-
hate shit. But like I say, I mean, I no longer have to fight
Am I
that
allowed
hard
to say that?
because in the comments they be eating y'all ass up, and to be honest, that is enough for me. Like y'all just got to give it a break. Y'all just got to give it a break because even the drop that y'all were like crying about the other day, it's been confirmed that shit was a DPI.
Yeah, we already seen it.
Right, but didn't a report come out like the very next day about practice, and there was another pass interference situation where Tet fought through the contact and still caught the ball?
I don't believe so.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it was. I know what you're
Yeah,
referencing.
that happened.
He mentioned it in that, and he was like, basically, he would like to see that same kind of effort from XL.
That's all I'm saying. Like, I understand the pass interference, but like, play through it. And unfortunately, like you would get shot bail if you didn't drop ones that you didn't have pass interference on. I'd be willing to shoot you a little bit more bail. But now, because you showed me that, now you just have to catch everything to get back in my good graces. I don't care. I don't care if you got 3 people draped over you. You better find a way to catch it. But then again, I get called a hater for saying that shit. So
if
Xavier
Legette doesn't even play a fucking offensive snap this whole preseason, I'm fine.
You shouldn't be. If Bryce is out there playing, he should be playing.
It's just the double standard is crazy because last year when the starters weren't playing, I mean, you about had a fucking aneurysm, and now it's like
no, he was happy.
Play.
Actually, that's not the case at all.
That was me.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because he was happy.
I was very more so on the side of like, if Dave Canales trusts his process enough to say that the starters aren't playing, then cool. Who am I to say that that's wrong? Obviously, hindsight is always 20/20. So going into this season, the preseason of this year is like, oh yeah, nigga, you tried that shit last year. Unfortunately, it's not gonna cut it this year. And obviously, he got the memo. I mean, yeah.
So there's looking at the chat real quick. I did see a fun question. It said dream Panthers rotation, like for smoking rotation. Like, who do you want in the session?
Nalo XL. Shit, that's damn near it.
Yeah, I would say probably Nalo XL and Princely.
I don't know if I want.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Princely definitely got to be in that bitch.
Yeah, he'd be turned up. I think he'd be funny. Yeah.
And
I don't know if
he'll be hyped.
I wouldn't put Nalo in it, but I would have Jimmy. Jimmy
Oh,
coming.
yeah,
Jimmy good. He valid. He with me. Jimmy coming through. I want JC in that motherfucker.
JC,
and
you don't even got to envision that. He be hot every day you see him, damn near. That's why you seen the fucking video. Y'all seen the video of that accident. I don't know what the fuck he was doing.
I didn't even know he had stitches until bro said it. I didn't even know he had got stitches from it.
Yeah, he got stitches in his thumb. That's why he didn't practice yesterday.
Yeah.
He
said he was good though. Panthers and car crashes tend to be,
it's a great old
that. But I'm taking. I think I'm taking Jimmy. I'm taking JC, and if I had to put a third one in, huh?
I said, can you word that differently? They're already accusing us of being the Diddy podcast.
I'm clearly talking about my rotation. I'm letting them in the rotation for smoking.
Yeah, even then, it sounds even wilder.
I just said it. They're part of the smoke session. Yeah, they're part of the smoke session.
There you go.
Jimmy can roll through. JC can roll through, and I feel like Trayvon Merring would probably be cool. He can roll too.
Yeah, not bad. I mean, I don't think that there's really, we don't get enough of these guys' personalities really because the Panthers are like so like stuck on like keeping so much shit to the vest. So it's like hard for me to answer that question. But like you have a guy like Tedero McMillan that does a vlog, and he just seemed like he'll really be like just on some chill shit, but like also on some like fun shit, on some young nigga shit. For real, for real. So like I would have to include him, but yeah, I mean, that was a great question. That was a fun question for sure. This is what Bloody said. Let me pull this up. We have so much young talent on the offensive side of the ball that should be playing in these preseason games. So if our offense isn't cooking, that might be a problem. I totally agree. If our offense ain't cooking with the weapons that you brought in, as well as the guys that had some success last year, it's alarming and it'll be a problem, especially against a second team defense. Bro. So I totally agree with this sentiment.
I'm also interested to see JT Sanders too, just because one about what they've been saying he's been doing in training camp and in practice, and two, we haven't really seen much of him since he had that injury at the back end of last year against Kansas City. So I'm interested to see how he's going to bounce back. So yeah, I want to see how they involve him in the offense and what kind of improvement he's made. Because I know Dunk was saying he lost a lot of weight. He's always had good hand, but specifically in the run block too. I would also like to see Mitchell Evans as well. I know y'all were gassed up on him, so I kind of want to see what he's able to provide too.
Great points. Save that. Actually, not save it, but is that going to be one of your guys for the next segment that we do for the top 3 players you'll have your eyes locked on? Don't answer. It's okay.
No.
Nevertheless, even if it is, we can like you can do 4, you can do 5, you can do however many you want. Let me see. XL should definitely be playing. He needs as many reps as he can gain catching the ball against somebody that's not on our team. I mean, that's a fair point. Agreed. I say that only to be play devil's advocate and to be on the other end of the spectrum because Terrence and Tavian just hate on him so fucking bad.
Bro, can you stop with that narrative, bro? It's not true. Like, it's not true. I don't understand why you keep pushing it. And I don't understand why people in the comments and people in our fan base continue to let JJ fucking manipulate y'all and try to run with a bullshit narrative. Like, if you just watch our fucking podcast and just watch the videos,
they do. That's why they fucking agree with me.
No, I don't understand what the fuck they're getting out of it because I literally say the same thing, that I just hope that he's putting in as much work in the off season, doing his promos, being in all of these music videos and all of these food reaction videos. I just hope he's doing the same thing, like working on his hands as well, because he's going to be a big part of our offense. Like, that's literally it. And he dropped a lot of passes last year. Now you wanted to go
in crucial moments at that.
Exactly. You want to go pour gas on the fire by making me make bets against my own fucking team and all of this shit. So you created this bullshit narrative, so I need you to stop. And I agree with what Dylan said in the chat.
What did he say
earlier today? It seems like that chat is for, when somebody says something, take the most negative part out of it and run with a bullshit narrative, something along those lines.
What?
And you lead charge in that shit. So
let's see. Before we get to that training camp question too, I do see that there's a question that is Bryce Young the future Hall of Famer. I think we can touch on that.
Can we not even acknowledge that?
I was about to say, I think we touch on that quickly. I think it's too way. I mean, the Hall of Fame is like the creme de la creme. Like, we've seen 8 good games out of Bryce. And I love Bryce. I'm a Bryce stan. That's my guy. But gotta go slow.
He ain't even won 8.
Gotta go slow.
I don't even want to acknowledge that. Motherfucker ain't won more than damn 5 ball games his whole career. Like, what are we talking about? Or that's me hating?
No, that's a fact.
I mean, no, I think
okay.
It's a fact. Yeah.
I just had to make sure that I wasn't, because I know that I've been tough on him. But like, that's just like, come on, bro. Like, that's just not even fucking real life. Okay, let me see. Why the fuck can't I share my damn? Oh. No. Okay, here we go. My bad. Bloody, this is for you. It's like very quick. It really wasn't that crazy, but I have no idea what the fuck the nigga was doing, to be honest.
Which one? That's him, right? Yeah, that's him. He was. Both of them was trying to.
He ran a red light. It looks like.
He definitely ran a red light. he was trying to. He thought he could make it.
Yeah, that light turned green on the going the other way. As soon as it happened, so I know he ran it.
And bro, in the truck was probably, how you can pull out into that lane and once the light turns, you can still make it. He was probably already out there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then because you can see he tried to slam on the brakes and his car just started skidding. Yeah. He fucked off.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's the video of the crash yesterday with JC Horn.
That's crazy.
Nigga just had to be smart, bro. Nigga just had to be smart.
Yeah, he was moving all right. He was damn sure moving.
That's one way to look at it. Okay, let's wrap up here. 3 individual players, first team through 14, punt return, kick return, whatever you want to do. 3 players you'll have your eyes locked on for the preseason.
I have 4, maybe even 5.
Okay.
I'm gonna say Trevin Wallace for all the above reasons. We know why. I'm gonna say Princely just because I think that when he got drafted, him and Nick Scourton, I thought that he was just a better player overall, and like just the way he be chatting and the energy that he brings. And I think he's a pure pass rusher, so I would like to see him get those valuable reps and be able to make an impact there. Also, Nick Scourton, just because like I said, I haven't heard a lot about him. It seems like you've heard things about him throughout training camp and the practices, but I haven't. So Princely, Nick Scourton, Trevin Wallace, and then also Jimmy Horn. And main reason because I just think that Jimmy Horn is like an exciting player to watch. He was an exciting player to watch at Colorado. I think that he was a steal of the draft. And then at FanFest, caught the touchdown pass. He also tackled somebody or caught 2 touchdown passes. Also tackled somebody on a punt return or something like that. I don't know, but he's just an exciting player.
Somebody yesterday off a pick.
Yeah, so he's just of that. But you can just tell that he's like a hungry player. He's a dog. So I'm ready to see how he's going to perform because I think he's going to have a lot of reps. So yeah, those are my 4.
Yeah, I got 3. Jimmy, I want to see more of Jimmy. I love what they've been doing with him. Another one is Lathan, who we talked about earlier. I just want to see more from Lathan as well. I really want to see him drop his shoulder on somebody. That would do it for me. And my third name is actually going to be a bit of a surprise. I think it's actually Bam Martin-Scott. And I say that because the linebacker room is, it's not the best in the league. And when we were at FanFest, Bam was a guy who continuously was catching my eye. I was like, bro, who is 57? Who is this guy? Like, didn't know much about him, wasn't really paying attention to him, but he kept jumping, he kept popping off, he was making plays. So I want to see if because we already have our questions about Trevin. I mean, I think it's damn near consensus on this podcast that we don't think that he's going to have what it takes to turn into the type of leader that this defense needs. So I'm looking at Bam now. I'm like, Bam, what do you have? So, and because of his position on the team, I think he's going to get a lot of burn. So I'll have my eye on 57 for sure.
Those are both of y'all have some great names. For me, I think my list actually is totally different than y'all's. Actually, this is actually very rare. The first guy I'm gonna have my eye on is Corey Thornton. Because, like I said, if you've been paying attention at all to Panthers Twitter, if you've seen some of the interviews or whatever the case may be, some of the articles and things of that nature, this is a name that continues to come up. And you have some people that were able to go to FanFest that believes that he locked Tataroa up. I personally don't feel that way. I think that it was the Jimmy Horn show, and I think they showed that, and that was on display. but I don't really necessarily think that he locked him up at FanFest. But off of that, it has
And
been
not
kind
to
of quiet. Go ahead.
not to cut you off, they also had Tet running a lot of comebacks and out routes at FanFest. They didn't really have him doing nothing crazy. So
Yeah. And I honestly, on that turf, with it being wet, I believe that that was intentional. Because, I mean, imagine my displeasure if Tedero McMillan got fucked at FanFest on a field that nobody likes. Oh my God. My tonality would be terrible tonight. But nevertheless, Corey Thornton is definitely a guy, perimeter guy. They faced him off against XL. They faced him off against Tedoroa. All reports that we've seen is that he's held his own. So now I want to see what he does against some other receivers that he hasn't been able to pick up on their technique, their tendencies, etc. I want to see kind of what he does in that regard. Second guy, I'm gonna have my eye on, Trevor Etienne. Trevor Etienne and Alex made a phenomenal point earlier, just talking about Etienne. And I honestly, I think that Etienne's performance, I believe, will affect what we see for Raheem Blackshear on if he's let go or not. Because right now the Carolina Panthers have Raheem Blackshear as punt return and kick return 1. Right? I don't believe that they keep a guy only to be a returner, because you have so many people in that room in the skill position group offensively that have the ability to do both of those things. Right? But I think that what we see, the production or lack thereof from Trevor Etienne, will be indicative on what is going to happen with Raheem Blackshear. And we've had a multiple conversations about Raheem Blackshear on this podcast, on our live streams, whatever the case may be. I believe he's a bubble guy. I believe he's a fringe guy. And to be honest, if I had to take what I saw at FanFest into consideration, take what I've been hearing and seeing about training camp up to this point, I think Raheem Blackshear is on his way out the door. I really do. And the only way he makes this team is if Trevor Etienne doesn't do what he needs to do with the amount of reps that he's going to get. Because I think he's going to get a significant amount of reps, because I don't think that you'll see Chuba. I don't believe that you're going to see too much of Rico, if any. So, he's going to have the opportunity to solidify his position as running back 3 on this team. If he doesn't do it, then we can expect the running back room to have 4 guys in there this season, instead of looking at it potentially next year with Jonathan Brooks returning. So Trevor Etienne is a guy that I'm looking to make the most of his opportunities. And my last guy, I know I'm going to get slandered for this, and I know that y'all are just going to start bugging, but DJ Johnson is my last guy. I know that over the past 2 or 3 weeks, I have this weird fascination with DJ Johnson and what I think that he may be able to do. But it's very, very similar, right, to the XL situation, because the Carolina Panthers damn near had a circle jerk when they drafted DJ Johnson. Everybody in the room. And after a year and a half or 2 years of you not doing anything production-wise, they felt as though you were so bad that they had to go get not only one edge/defensive end, but 2 in Princely and Nick Scourton. Something about that has to rub you the wrong way. I believe that DJ Johnson will have the ability, or will have the option to make the most of his opportunities, because I think we're going to see a lot of run from him, because I think that they're going to protect those edges and Princely and Nick. So I think he's going to have the opportunity. I want to see him make the most of them. And all of that run defense, setting the edge, all of that shit, it's great and it's significant, and you need that on a team. But, nigga, I need to see you getting pressures. Because, honestly, I'm not going to hold you. If you can't, unfortunately, the way they've been saying Nkoum has been balling, nigga, you might be on the way out when DJ Wanham gets back healthy, when Pat Jones shows what he can do, when Princely and Nick start developing a little bit more. Yeah, it might be rap for you, nigga. What were you going to say?
I feel like DJ Johnson is your new Amari Barno. You had an unhealthy obsession with Amari Barno for a couple of years. as well. And like now, because Amari's gone, you had to find somebody to fill that void, and now it's become DJ Johnson.
It's possible. It's possible. I don't think that's the case at all. I just think that, bro, it like it's just so rare. Maybe it's not as rare as I think it is in my head, but I just feel like it's so rare for you to miss on a guy that bad that you trade up to go get him in the third round and he's this ass. Respectfully, of course. Like, I just find it hard to believe. So it's something that they saw on the tape. I damn sure didn't see it. Even when they drafted him, I was confused. But it's something. It's something, and it wasn't this regime that brought him in. It was the last one, right? So that kind of plays a part in it as well.
Which I feel like is all the more reason to just be like, hey,
done with
fucked up.
Yeah,
fucked up.
1000%. But in that same breath, you got to make sure that these young guys can do what they need to do. Because realistically, I mean, if neither one of them niggas produce, like, we got to try whatever we got left. And DJ Johnson will fall in that category. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like next man up. But we're putting a lot, and I spoke about this in spaces, in Sheena's space yesterday. We're putting a significant amount of pressure on this front line, right? Because the inside backer room is so ass. Actually, let me not say it that way because I've been doing a phenomenal job all night. So I'm not going to say it that way. This inside backer room leaves a lot to be desired, right? So you're putting a lot of pressure on your defensive line in a 3-4 with the two edges, a lot of pressure on those guys, specifically on the inside, to damn near win every rep, to damn near win every single one of them. If Princely and Nick can't do that, we got to go to the next guy because we can't have niggas 6-7 yards down the field and we getting pushed into our linebacker's lap.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I was saying like a few weeks in the pod when we were talking about expectations for like the rookies, specifically Princely and Nick Scorton. Like those guys were drafted high in our books, but at the same time, especially us having a first round grade on Nick Scorton, it's like, bro, we got to think they're still rookies. As much as we want them to kind of take their lumps, and we don't have the other edges in the room that are like that star caliber and like really firepower edges. So they're probably going to get a lot of early on, but we're putting a lot of stock into those guys and they're still very young. So I would caution everybody, just be calm, be patient, and go slow if you're thinking that these guys might come in and, jump off the stat sheet within the first couple of games. But yeah, I agree. Everywhere else is just so mediocre on the defense that the front seven, it's going to be a lot of work from them.
And I will say this too, just to kind of add on to the point that you just made, as far as the Panthers having a first round grade on Nick Scorton, for me that's alarming. Because I know that they had a second round grade on Princely, but there's no way that a guy that has a second round grade should be outperforming you the way that the information is being relayed to us. Like, that shouldn't be happening if you're Nick Scorton.
So to that point, though, I will say Nick Scorton, Princely is 23 years old. Nick Scorton is only 20. So, like, while Nick had the higher grade, Princely's older. He's a little bit more mature. His body's further along. Like, he's a lot closer to being a man than Nick is. So I think you're going to see, in particular this season, you're going to see Princely probably look better than Nick because he's older. And you got to be strong to play in those trenches.
Yeah. I mean, that's a valid point. But, I mean, Nick also played in the SEC. So it's just like, I mean, do I like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you've been playing with grown men your whole college career, bro. So like,
I get it.
Really,
and the SEC is,
especially not when you're going, because I mean, if we're gonna have an honest conversation, there's no way that you're gonna tell me that you don't believe that there's more talent in the SEC than Ikem Ekwonu. I know that you're not gonna tell me that.
No, for sure. But Nick didn't have crazy sack numbers.
No, he didn't. He didn't. Once he transferred out, and went to Mississippi State, like it hit different because they're asking him to do something totally different.
Right.
Where they play, they're asking him to play totally different, and even his body type was totally different than it is right now. So, I mean, that's a good point.
Yeah. And especially for Nick, like, because he's only 6'2", but he's coming here, at least according to ESPN, he's 6'2", 257. I mean, that's
not
pretty
accurate.
like
257. I don't believe that's accurate anymore for him.
So you think he slimmed down?
Probably about 10 or 11 pounds.
Which is going to make it even tougher at this level.
Maybe.
If you're gonna slim down,
make it easier, because then even though he's not known for his pass rush, at least he can be a little bit quicker off the line, off the ball.
And that's it will make his first. I do anticipate it making his first step quicker, but the power is not going to be behind. Like, he won't have the same power behind it, not until he starts to develop.
Sure, that's a fair point. Terrence, I saw you that came off of mute for a second. What did you want to say?
No, I was just gonna agree with Tavian. Like, just like the different play styles that he had to endure, and probably even now it's probably changed up a lot as well. Like, because where he come from to start with, I forgot what school he was at. Purdue, and then going to the SEC, going to Mississippi State, where they had him put on extra weight. So, like, the play style is probably just a lot different. And then the point being made, like, they had him beefing up, and so, like, you got to get accustomed to being able to play with that kind of like extra added weight and that body style. And then now you're coming back down to like what you traditionally played at, like probably throughout high school and your first couple of years of college. So there's going to be some adjustments there. But I mean, like I said, these guys are going to take their lumps early. There's going to be some learning curves. But I mean, you always say it's in our best interest for those guys to work out, because I personally don't think we have anything as far as like future wise when it comes to like Pat Jones and maybe like a DJ Wanham. I think like a lot of that is going to fall on Princely and Nick Score's shoulders going forward.
Did you see that in the chat? We got somebody tuning in here from all the way from the UK, it looks like.
Yeah, I seen that. Shout out to them.
Oh yeah, shout out to you. That's crazy.
And,
for sure.
The game.
I appreciate you joining the stream.
Yeah. What time does the game start? So the game is going to be at 7 p.m. Eastern time.
Yeah.
So I don't know what that means. I think the UK is like 5 or 6 hours ahead. So whatever time that'll be over there, it's going to be 7 p.m. Eastern time, though.
Yes. Bloody said this about the three guys that he's going to be watching. Nalo, Jimmy, and Princely. Drafting Princely all throughout the pre-draft process in my mocks. He was one of my guys. Yeah, I think that all of us, bro, to be honest, and y'all can chime in if I'm wrong in this, but I think that all of us are relatively high on Princely. I think all of us have significant expectations for what we believe him to be, or believe him to turn into. Now, I don't think that Princely comes out and is, TJ Watt, Micah Parsons, Myles Garrett. I don't know if he has the ability to do that, because we're talking about generational players, right? But I think that he can be a significant piece to this defense. I will say that. I think that your pass rush is going to get significantly better because of Princely Umanmielen being on that line. I just do. Like I'm 100% confident in that. So yeah, I respect this list. I respect this list. Jimmy is going to get a lot of opportunities, and Princely is going to get a good amount of opportunities, but obviously not as much as Jimmy. And then as it pertains to Nalo, I mean, you're going to see him for a drive. You're going to see him for a drive tomorrow. You may see him for a drive or two next week against Houston. Outside of that, that's going to be about it. That's going to be about it. You're not going to get much from that. So he's just one of those guys where you just really have to just wait until he got to go see Trav. Because then you'll know what he really made. Like, because part of the reason why Steve Smith hates on Nalo the way he did is because he says that Nalo quit. And one of those games that he quit in was against Colorado. So that is going to be a challenge. It's going to be a challenge, but you'll get a better gauge for him when he got to go see Trav in Jacksonville week 1.
Yeah. And that's exactly what I was about to say. By all accounts, Not too well. Not too well.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. It seemed like we were making some plays. Now, I will say the defense didn't perform as well as the offense did as a unit. But like I mentioned earlier, they said that the defensive line did a great job in run defense. Now, I didn't hear much about would-be sacks, so that is kind of alarming still because it's just like, bro, we could potentially be running into the same problem where you have quarterbacks 6, 7, 8 seconds in the pocket. And if that's the case, unfortunately, none of us feel as though this secondary is good enough to hold up for that long. Whether you got JC, I mean, you could damn near have God back there. And if you give a quarterback 6.5, 7 seconds to throw the football, it's going to be trouble. It just is. So, that to answer that, I mean, we didn't hear much about would-be sacks, didn't hear a lot about pressures, but run defense wise, I heard that we were relatively solid. Let me see. Yes, I would totally agree with this statement. He's not an NFL quarterback.
I was gonna say earlier too. I know we were talking about Panthers players, but Shador is on my list of guys that I'm wanting to see.
Me too. That's why I'm like low-key hyped that we're going to the game tomorrow. Because I mean, I'm gonna be able to get my assessment from the Panthers on NFL Network and NFL Plus all 22. I'm gonna be able to get my assessment on them, but you know, being able to see Shador, you know, do his thing. Like I said, I'm cheering for him. I'm rooting for him. If he goes for 350 tomorrow, I'm gonna be significantly alarmed about this defense. But realistically, how mad can I really be? Because they're trying to fuck him. So, yeah,
Dylan. He was tweaked on that one, Dylan. I ain't gonna lie.
What did I do?
He said, "Come on, JJ, God's strapping that up."
Yeah, he is. Yeah, that was blasphemous. God forgive me. That was OD. That was OD. Do y'all have score predictions for preseason, or y'all want to just save those for regular season? Because I really don't even give a fuck about the score.
Yeah, I don't care about the score.
Save it. Yeah. We better not get blasted. That's all I know.
If we get blasted, we should be alarmed as a fan base, and I will probably be contacting quite a few people to tell them that our bets are off. And y'all
make sure I'm not.
No, you would be.
No. I don't really have time to. No. I'm standing on business this year. Pay what the fuck you owe.
Fair enough.
Even if I gotta go get it.
That might not be the best decision.
I'm what Josh said. I'm comfortable in the West.
And you saw what happened to Ja, ain't it?
I was about to say Ja also didn't make the playoffs.
You see what happened to Ja, ain't it? I'm just telling you, nigga. I just don't know if that's best, nigga. Let me see. Oh my God, Jack! Please don't even mention that name. I don't even want to read that fucking name. I don't know how that bitch. Oh, excuse me. I don't know how. I honestly don't, bro. I don't know how he's still a quarterback in the NFL. Like, I don't understand the fascination with the nigga, to be honest. I don't. But we'll see. We'll see. I mean, he's never going to play. But Jack Plummer is ass, bro. I try my best. What's poppin'? What's goody?
What up, Lucas?
A couple of people trickling in a little late. Hey, I would encourage y'all to rewind this shit all the way from the beginning. It's been a phenomenal night. We had Alex Zietlow on the pod earlier. I was able to do a one-on-one interview with him. Then we came back with Terrence Tavian and myself, gave some information and some insight on what we had on the horizon as it pertains to the Panthers preseason starting tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern time. So yeah, man, it highly encourage you guys to go back, rewind the stream. And yeah, man, that's all I really have. I don't know why he couldn't just take it down so we could do the outro and he would be on about his way. But you know, I get it.
I can't promote Joe.
No,
it's sad.
It ain't about the star.
Related.
It ain't about the star. It's about the star underneath.
See,
Joseph.
Got bigger.
we have significantly bigger fish to fry, to be honest. But I mean, you'll see week 6.
I think I'm about to light some candles around Dak's jersey tonight. Start dancing around it. Might get stretched.
Wow, that's weird. The nigga's gonna make that statement and then throw his hands up like he didn't say shit. Like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy, dog? What's wrong with him, bro? He's weird, bro. He's weird. But no, shout out to everybody in the chat, man. This was a fun night for me. This was, I think, I don't want to misspeak, but this was like the first time where we created content with like an official beat writer. So that was dope as hell. Like I said, if you guys missed that, I'll put the live stream out, but I also may consider just uploading that as an individual video. But then again, probably not, because by tomorrow it'll be out of date in regards to the joint practice and everything like that. So if you missed it, catch it tonight so you can get, all the latest breaking news and insight from Alex Zietlow, be it a Charlotte Observer. Gentlemen, appreciate your time.
We got one. Got one before we leave.
We got one before we leave. Okay. I wish I had the soundboard. We're not that advanced yet, but I'll give you a round of applause, bro. Round of applause for our super chat.
Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Nick. Thank you.
Bro, he be in the spaces, be having the spaces jumping, bro. He said, hit that like button. Definitely do that. Definitely do that good shit there. I'm not gonna lie. If you ain't done that and you've been on stream with us for the whole time, because it's a couple of hundred of y'all in here. If y'all ain't done that,
what are you doing?
Then unfortunately, y'all just don't really fuck with us. And to me, hey.
Like, comment, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend.
Like, comment, subscribe, bell, all of that. Go get your Carolina Reaper tee right now. Everybody wanted to blow my jack when we announced that we were cutting the stock off. Everybody wanted to blow my jack, and unfortunately, the sales numbers don't really equate to the amount of outrage I received in my personal phone about the Reaper tee being not released. This is not me with my hand out. This is not me begging. I'm just saying, nigga, stand on business and reciprocate the energy that y'all were giving me pre that. For sure. Let's do this. Since there's not many people, I would like honestly be so grateful if niggas didn't screenshot what I'm about to show y'all.
Oh God.
Honestly.
What is this? I'm nervous.
It honestly would be lame as hell.
Let me get myself kicked off again.
Is it gonna be that bad? Should I even put my face in the camera?
Oh, it's not bad. It's not bad at all.
Okay.
It's not bad at all. One second. Okay. Here we go. I just pray to God nothing crazy happens. Hold on. Let me just make sure that. Let me just make sure. Yeah. So breaking news. I mean, I'm sure y'all assume this, and I'm sure we mentioned it before. Let me take this down. But we do have something special coming for you guys very soon. And since y'all been rocking out with us for 2+ hours, I guess we'll leak it. Do not screenshot, but we got the white and cream shits coming. I wish I could like full screen it. But yeah. So if you don't want to buy the black one, yet, I get it. Do not screenshot. Just hold it down, bro. Because if y'all can't hold it down and y'all get the screenshot and then leaking and shit, then I just can't do shit like this. You know what I'm saying? Like, just hold it down. But we got the white and cream shits on the way. My personal favorite is the white. The white is even harder than the black to me. but all 3 colorways will be available very, very soon. You can get the black one right now. But yeah, man, for sure.
Tap in.
He did, yeah, hey, bloody, yeah, he did. I wasn't a happy camper. I'll be honest. He did, bro, for sure. But the white ones, y'all ain't seen them white ones yet, bro. And the white one, the way that shit pop off the white, no cap. Hey, and Jake, if you just so happen to watch or you're currently watching, unfortunately, we gave this sample, and it was because of Terrence. Terrence is the one that told me to do it.
Whoa, what?
we gave Dunk the white sample. So if you're watching this, I'm sorry. You
Did
didn't?
I'll probably co-sign it. Yeah. I mean,
I'm not
was
gonna
I
lie,
at
bro,
what?
you didn't, bro. I just lied like fuck on your name. I apologize.
I mean,
But
you
you're a
do
real
it.
nigga for potentially standing up for it.
Yeah, you do it so often that it's not even a fucking surprise
And
anymore.
then niggas just get the line on like by themselves.
Master manipulator. I told
Yeah,
you,
that
you
was
gotta
insane.
watch.
I'm not gonna lie.
You gotta watch.
He,
Watch folks
well,
like that.
the way he sets you up right there for that is just just nasty.
Nah,
Watch
that was
folks like
OD.
that.
But yeah, appreciate y'all tuning in, man. Like we said on multiple occasions, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. If you somehow found this on X without following us, give us a follow. We got a lot of great shit going on. I say this every opportunity we get. We just did a major giveaway where we took call it our FPFO road game experience, had over 1,700 entries, 900 participants, selected one lucky winner to go on a road trip with us. So shout out to Dez, him and his plus one. I'm blanking on his name. I think it's Corey, but don't quote me on that. Either Corey or Cody, but forgive me. But selected them to go on a trip with us down to Arizona, Phoenix for week 2. Gonna be major, gonna be a movie. So again, if you're not familiar with FPFO, or if you're not tapped in with us on socials, do that so you can stay in tune with what we have going on, because we do a lot of great shit. We really do. We do a lot of great shit that your favorite podcaster unfortunately just simply isn't doing, whoever it is. Like, and that's not me being arrogant or anything like that. That's just me keeping it a wow. We do shit that niggas don't do. So make sure to tap in with us on social media so you're staying in tune with what we have. Like, comment, subscribe, bell notification if you're on YouTube. And we will talk to you guys next Tuesday morning at 9 a.m. Eastern time for our preseason game review. We'll do a little deep dive analysis on what we saw, who we were impressed by, who disappointed us, et cetera, et cetera. You'll be able to get all of that Tuesday morning at 9 a.m. Eastern time next week. Yeah. Football is back. And I couldn't be more excited. So thank y'all. Thank everybody for tuning in tonight. Terrence and Tavian, appreciate y'all joining the stream. I know that people were ecstatic to see y'all. And again, you can catch us all 9 a.m. Eastern time on Tuesday. We'll talk soon. Peace.